I'm a firm believer that karma's coming for them.
It's unquestionable that's going to come back.
Right.
And it's going to be hilarious.
I'm going to I think my dad and I were going to go to the big house this year. So.
Hey, Mike, just to confirm, we won't get any return from the radio station at all.
Correct. It's just us sending it to them and going to the stream.
Once we get going, I'll listen on.
Okay. Yep, and I'm gonna go live within the next minute here. So. No, that got shut down.
It's because
they
want to refine the like background.
I didn't mean to laugh, but.
They wanted to make it look like
Yep.
the Spanish broadcast.
Correct.
I think it was my backpack. I'll check it in a little bit.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3.
Oh, it's a cannon shot! Go ahead and give him the goal of the league!
This is the Inter Miami pregame show, live from the ESPN West Palm studios. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Fresh off of a Leagues Cup semifinal appearance, we are live from the City Play Studios here in downtown West Palm Beach. Mike Rizzo with the Inter Miami pregame show. No Lionel Messi, no problem, by the way. It's looking like it's going to be like that tonight as well. So no Messi in the Leagues Cup. Not going to have Messi tonight against DC United. Let's get that one out of the way because I know everybody's going to be wondering. So no Lionel Messi in the starting 11 tonight, not even on the reserves. So don't hold your breath there. But still some very quality level of players in this game for Inter Miami. Now, the good news is I think a lot of players who probably need some playing time, like Fafa Pico, Benjamin Kromaski, they are featured in the lineup. And I think it's coming at a good time, too, because DC United is an absolute nightmare. May 31st was the last time DC United has won. Folks, it's August. It's not only August. We're almost to September. College football started today. It's August 23rd. They've not had a win since May 31st on their schedule. So I feel like this is a good time for Inter Miami to reset, good time for a couple of players for Inter Miami to get in and active within the lineup. But I want to welcome you guys on in to the pregame show. We are powered by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. That is AudiUSA.com to learn more. Test drive that brand new Q6 e-tron, folks. That brand new Q6 e-tron today at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Speaking of those starting 11s, I mentioned no Lionel Messi. You got Benjamin Kromaski featured in it, Fafa Pico. Let's get you those 11s for Inter Miami. Now, Usually, Oscar Ustari is handling goalkeeping duties. Oscar, by the way, much better in their recent fixture in that quarterfinal of Leagues Cup. But it is going to be Rocco Rios Novo in goal tonight. So I think kind of the unsung hero, right, throughout the season at times when Oscar Ustari has been unable to go. Famously, Rios Novo had to come in that Charlotte game where Oscar was sent off in the first half. Ustari's had a couple of stints on that injured list throughout the season. So Rios Novo getting a lot of reps this year and a lot of experience within the MLS. He is going to be between the sticks, the young Argentinian. Let's remember he played for Coach Mascherano in the Olympics. 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1. So Coach Mascherano, it really seems like ever since the acquisition of Rodrigo de Paul and a couple of changes within the squad, 4-2-3-1 has seemed to be the lineup. Now, bit of a odd mixture of Herons tonight. You got Noah Allen back to his original position, right? Noah Allen famously a fullback throughout his career. Coach Mascherano has had a lot of success playing him at center back this year, but he's going to be playing fullback tonight. By the way, this is left to right. This is left to right, your back line. Noah Allen, Ryan Saylor, Gonzalo Luan, and Marcelo Weigand. So Allen, Saylor, Luan, and Weigand, and certainly Saylor getting his first real minutes. I mean, he's getting the start tonight, but his first real couple of playing time within the last few months. So Saylor featured in the lineup tonight. Now, probably the more shocking thing that you're going to see tonight on the Inter Miami 11 is Toto Aviles playing in the central midfield. Now, I'm assuming he's going to do a lot of holding tonight. He's in what I call the Sergio Busquets role. Actually, Busquets usually sometimes on the right. Regardless, Toto Aviles is going to be holding in that midfield. You got Davi Ruiz at that right midfielder spot. So those are your two DM-ish, we'll call it, midfielders tonight. I got to see how this lineup is going to be as an 11. But Aviles and Ruiz as your two DMs coming up tonight. Now let's get to that midfield. Benjamin Kremasky coming off the right. Talasco Segovia centralized as a centralized attacking midfielder tonight. And Fafa Pico coming off of the left. As I said, Fafa, Kremasky, I think these are fantastic opportunities for them who aren't necessarily in the starting 11 game in and game out. These are players who certainly have quality. I could argue these are two guys that would start on majority, I'd say 85% of the MLS teams out there. So it just shows you how deep our Inter Miami Herons are to have the luxury of Fafa Pico and Benjamin Kremasky sometimes being super subs, coming onto the pitch and getting instant access. Now, up top, playing striker, where I think, I don't want to say Tadeo Allende has been struggling as of late because he's great in the air. I feel like he's always just one touch away. I feel like Allende for the last month has been one touch away. And let's give him some credit. At the FIFA Club World Cup, he was one of our best players. I mean, Allende was darn near scoring in every single fixture. He was amazing in CONCACAF Gold Cup action, and he's truly been a great signing for Coach Mascherano. I think the two top signings so far this year for Mascherano have been Segovia and Allende. I think Allende is going to have a good game tonight. I think with what's been going on with DC United, which we're going to get to in a second. And as I mentioned, it hasn't been good. They haven't won a game since May 31st. But I think this could be a get-right game for Allende, who really last game was one touch away from about 2, possibly 3 goals against Tigres. So that's your 11 tonight. Once again, Rios Nova at keep from left to right, your back line, your 4. Noah Allen, Ryan Saylor, Gonzalo Luan, Marcelo Weigand. Your DMs, Toto Aviles and Davi Ruiz. Your midfielders, left to right, Fafa Pico, Talasco Segovia, Benjamin Kremasky, and your lone striker up top is Tadeo Allende. Let's get into a little bit of what DC United has been up to this season, and it hasn't been a lot. DC United sits at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They have conceded the most goals in the entirety of the MLS and have scored and have scored the fewest. So they've conceded the most goals, folks, and have scored the fewest. So I know the LA Galaxy has had their issues too, but you've seen the Galaxy as of late being able to get to a quarterfinal in the Leagues Cup semifinal. They won their game against the Liga MX team that they were up against. So right now, I think DC United is the worst team within the MLS. And granted, I think that's why you see the lineup you got tonight. I think Coach Mascherano wants to give some guys some chances tonight. He knows he has a deep squad, and I think he's given players like Kromaski, Fafa, even Toto Aviles in that midfield. I think he's given them an opportunity, and I'm hoping that our Herons are certainly going to be able to take advantage of it. Now, Christian Benteke, he's not in the starting 11 tonight either. Was talking to the voice of the Herons, Ken Levica, before the show. Both of us were in agreement. It's kind of a nightmare that he's going to be ending his career like this, a household name within the MLS. But he is not going to be in the lineup. Always a threat, though. And in the previous 2 seasons, Christian Benteke in the MLS, he has been in the top 3 for expected goals and won the league's Golden Boot back in 2024, scoring more than our very own Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. So this is a player who is always threatening within the box, outside of the box, and one of the more fun players that we've seen in recent history in the league. So that's kind of what's going on with DC United. A whole lot of nothing, folks, as they're sitting at the bottom of that table. They have not won since May 31st, but believe it or not, CF Montreal, depends on who's listening, I guess, 20 points. They have 20 points, and DC United has 20 points as well. And I actually do have to stand corrected. The Galaxy actually has the least amount of points on that Western Conference side with 16. But as I mentioned, I feel like they've really shifted their focus to trying to win a piece of silverware within Leagues Cup. So, but the Galaxy holding down that spot on the supporter shield for the least amount of points on that MLS table. This is the Inter Miami pregame show. We are powered by your local South Florida Audi dealer. AudiUSA.com to learn more. That brand new Q6 e-tron, folks, I'm telling you, it is a dream to drive, and you could test drive it at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Let's take our first time out of the pregame show. When we come back, we'll take a look around the MLS. We'll take a look at a couple of the fixtures that are happening this weekend. We're going to be live down in D.C. around 7:39. So about a half hour, folks. We're going to go on site where Ken Levica and our OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, are. And it's certainly going to be a night to remember, I think, for the Herons, as a lot of guys are getting some opportunities. And Toto Aviles, Davi Ruiz, Benjamin Kromaski, Fafa Pico. So I think Coach Mascherano are giving them an opportunity, and let's hope they take advantage of it. We're coming right back on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the Inter Miami pregame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
The nation's capital is the spot tonight as our Inter Miami Herons in action against DC United. Two oddball lineups, best way I can put it. Two oddball lineups for DC United and our Herons. No Lionel Messi in the lineup. No Jordi Alba in the lineup. No Sergio Busquets. No Rodrigo de Paul, who has been world class since coming on over from Atletico Madrid. Let's get you those starting 11s again. We'll start with our Herons. 4-2-3-1, Rocco Rios Novo between the sticks for Oscar Ustari tonight playing goalkeeper. From left to right, your back line, Noah Allen, Gonzalo Luan, Ryan Saylor, and Marcelo Wagon. Your DMs, your defensive mids, Toto Aviles and Davi Ruiz. I think Aviles is going to do a lot of holding. Davi Ruiz most likely going box to box. Probably going to be more involved with a couple of passes when they're probing. Benjamin Kromansky off of the right. Talasco Segovia centralized as an attacking mid. My personal favorite spot for him. And then Fafa Pico getting that playing time our guy was asking for coming off of the left mid. And Tadeo Allende. I didn't get that right. Tadeo Allende playing striker up top. I think Allende is due for a big one tonight. Now, let's flip it on over to DC United. They're going with a 4-3-3. I mentioned no Christian Benteke in the lineup. The legendary MLS goal scorer won the 2024 Golden Boot last year, beating out Messi and Suarez, so he is not featured in the lineup tonight. But their goalkeeper coming up is Luis Barraza, the 28-year-old American. He is going to be between the sticks. And then the four back linemen for DC United from left to right, David Schnegg at left back, Kai Rowles at left center back. Right center back is Lucas Bartlett. And then your right back is Connor Antley. Going into the midfield for DC United, they got a 3-3, so three midfielders and then three attackers. On the left side, they have Brandon Servania, centralized. They have Matty Peltola. And then on the right mid, you're going to have Gabriel Pirani, the 23-year-old Brazilian. And then the attackers up top from left to right. The left winger is Hasi Kajima. The striker is Jackson Hopkins. And then the right wing player is Aaron Herrera. So that is the starting 11 for DC United 4-3-3. No Christian Benteke in the lineup tonight. Once again, more on DC United. They sit at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They've conceded the most goals in the entire MLS and have scored the fewest. Believe it or not, they do not have the fewest amount of points. That belongs to the LA Galaxy with 16, but they are tied with CF Montreal with 20 points. Obviously Benteke always a threat, but not in that lineup coming up tonight. Let's take a look at some other fixtures happening around the MLS tonight. Obviously, it's a huge MLS Saturday night, folks. You got CF, by the way, first team I name, home team. You know how football works. CF Montreal against Austin FC. Columbus Crew against the New England Revolution. Our Inter Miami Herons in battle tonight in D.C. in the nation's capital at D.C. United. FC Cincinnati and NYC FC. It's a juicy matchup. It's two playoff teams right now. FC Cincinnati has been flirting with first and second place with Philadelphia, depending on the week. But FC Cincinnati, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. And NYCFC, always pesky. Always pesky, always a good side. And I really like a lot of stuff that they've been able to do. Let's remember, they were able to nick a draw against Inter Miami the first time they played us. It was the first game of the year in Chase Stadium. Toto Aviles picked up that early red card, and Inter Miami was playing from behind. They had to come back and tie that game with Lionel Messi late game heroics. So FC Cincinnati and NYCFC, one of the marquee matchups tonight. Another pretty good matchup, a team that is fighting that I mentioned with FC Cincinnati for that first place spot, Philadelphia Union. They are hosting the Chicago Fire tonight. The Fire have been jockeying in that final playoff spot on the MLS Eastern Conference side. So big implications for the Chicago Fire as they keep trying to keep their playoff hopes alive as we inch closer to the end of the season. FC Dallas is facing off against LAFC. The Houston Dynamo will square off against the San Jose Earthquakes. Nashville SC taking on that team up north that I refuse to say because we're going to play them for the third time coming up in the Leagues Cup semifinal. But Nashville taking on that other Florida team. 8:30 start. By the way, most of these 7:30 starts, but starting with FC Dallas and Los Angeles, that fixture, folks, 8:30 and on. Real Salt Lake taking on Minnesota United. That is a 9:30. Real Salt Lake and Minnesota United, 9:30. The Vancouver Whitecaps taking on St. Louis, 9:30 as well. And then your MLS After Dark, the West Coast squads coming up tonight. LA Galaxy and the Colorado Rapids, and San Diego FC taking on the Portland Timbers. Let's take a look at Sunday. A couple of marquee matchups on Sunday. The one I'm looking at, Charlotte FC and New York Red Bulls. The Red Bulls in Chicago really are the teams jockeying right now with the final spot. We'll take a look at the table in a second. But the Red Bulls and the Fire have been jockeying for that final playoff spot on the Eastern Conference side. And Charlotte really has been right in the middle, I feel like, of the Eastern Conference playoff race. I don't think they're going to be able to get one of the top four spots. I think the top four firmly solidified now, and if Nashville keeps it up. But Nashville, FC Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and I would probably throw Inter Miami in there, but Orlando, the team up north, the other Florida team, has been very pesky so far this year as well. So a couple of things to keep an eye on. Pretty big matchup between Charlotte and New York Red Bulls. Atlanta United and Toronto FC, and then the Sounders and Sporting Kansas City, and then that'll get us into Saturday, August 30th action, which we will take a look at coming up next Sunday during Leagues Cup. We have a Leagues Cup game on Sunday because that August 30th fixture had to get rescheduled after Inter Miami advanced to the semifinal of Leagues Cup. Actually, scratch that. Wednesday, we have a fixture as well. So Wednesday, we're going to be talking about those future games coming up here soon. I mentioned that Christian Benteke, Golden Boot winner from 2024. Want to take a look at a couple of statistics throughout the MLS. Lionel Messi, believe it or not, even not playing the last couple of fixtures, not playing tonight, 19 goals. That is the Golden Boot leader right now. So Lionel Messi with 19 goals is the Golden Boot leader in the league. Sam Surridge sitting at 18, and then Evander Ferrara sitting at 16. the FC Cincinnati. So Sam Surge with Nashville, and then Ferrara with FC Cincinnati, the Brazilian, the 27-year-old Evander Ferraro, who's having a really good year over there in Cincinnati. So those are the top scorers. Assistman, Anders Dreyer with 15, San Diego. God, those West Coast teams, they love to run and they love to score. San Diego and Vancouver, two of the, I would say, maybe more fun teams to watch throughout the league. If you ever do get a chance to watch them, San Diego and Vancouver. But Anders Dreyer for San Diego, 15 assists. Pep Beal with 11 from Charlotte. And then Philip Zinkernagel with 10 assists for the Chicago Fire. So that's kind of taking a look around the MLS and what's going on with the statistics side. Now, I told you a couple of teams jockeying for first place, a couple of teams jockeying for that final spot in the Eastern Conference where our Herons reside. The Chicago Fire sitting at 9. They have 39 points. And actually, New York Red Bulls, same amount of points. They're at 39 as well. And it comes down to one goal. How about that? Goals matter, folks. Goals matter in this league. The Fire are in front of the Red Bulls because they have a +6 goal differential, while the Red Bulls have a +5. So huge fixtures from here on out, honestly, from here on out. Until one of them bows out, till one of them goes on a bit of a losing streak, that's going to be big-time fixtures for Chicago and New York. And then up top, you have FC Cincinnati sitting in first place at 52 with the Union on their heels at 51. Now, if it comes down to goal differential for that, Philly's got a +18. And I believe that is tied. Actually, no, tied for second. That is tied for second best with Orlando's, the team up north. No, we can say Orlando City. And then San Diego has the best goal differential with +19. Nashville sitting in third. They've really been sitting at third for a long time, but Orlando, believe it or not, is nipping at their heels a bit with 47. And as I mentioned, with that 18 goal differential, they're going to be a tough team if you got the same amount of points to really compete with. Now, here's the good news for our Herons. Finally at Inter Miami. About time, right? They have 24 games played. They have 45 points. Now, it's just a public school kid, all right? But 45 and 9. Let's do it, folks. 45 and 9 is 54. So, obviously, they got to win the games in hand. It's easier said than done in the MLS, especially with Lionel Messi having a knock. But at some point, they are going to make up those games. And if they handle their business, it should be sitting purty for Inter Miami to finish as one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference to get that home field advantage. So that's kind of what the Eastern Conference table looks like. Let's quickly go through the Western Conference table, and then we'll take our second time out of the postgame show presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer on your Inter Miami radio network. Western Conference, San Diego. Been really hot as of late. They've won 3 in a row and have 52 points. It's tied for Supporters Shield's best. And I mentioned that they have that +19 goal differential. So they actually are in the lead on the Supporters Shield over Cincinnati and the Union. But they are in first place in the Western Conference and a +19 goal diff. Minnesota United, there are a lot of surprise teams, folks, on that West. You could argue the first 3 teams that are in first place on the West are surprise teams. But San Diego at 52, number 1. Minnesota with 47 at 2. Vancouver at 46 with 3. The Sounders sitting at 41. They've really had a revamped second half of the year. Seattle right now with home field on the Western Conference side with 41. LAFC, 40 points in 5th place. The Portland Timbers at 37 place in 6th. Colorado Rapids, 36 points in 7th. Austin FC with 35 points in 8th. And then finally, San Jose, kind of a fall from grace. Remember, they were one of the top 4 teams for a long, long time, for about a month and a half. They have 32 points, and they are in 9th place. So that's kind of, checking out what's going on throughout the MLS as we gear up for our Herons to take on DC United in the nation's capital. A lot of big fixtures going on tonight and big fixtures going on tomorrow throughout the league. We will keep you updated here on what's going on around the league throughout the radio broadcast on your Inter Miami radio network. Taking our second time out of the program, we are inching closer to sending things pitch side to Ken Levicka, the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, and our on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, the OG. More DC United and Inter Miami talk when we return on your Inter Miami radio network.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the Inter Miami pregame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
The nation's capital is the location tonight as our Inter Miami Herons taking on DC United. No Lionel Messi. Has been a problem, by the way. No Lionel Messi as of late. Herons advancing to the League's Cup semifinal round without the GOAT. So certainly in good hands coming up tonight from what we've been used to. Let's get you your lineups one more time. We're about 5 minutes away until we send it to the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Ken Levica, who is on site in Washington, D.C. with our OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez. But 4-2-3-1 is really what Javier Mascherano has been going with the last 3 to 4 fixtures. And Rocco Rios Novo starting in goal for Oscar Ustari. So Rios Novo in, Oscar Ustari getting the night off. Your defenders from left to right, Noah Allen, Gonzalo Luan, Ryan Saylor, Marcelo Wegan. Your midfielders, your 2 DMs, Toto Aviles, and a bit of a surprise, got to be honest. It's a bit of a surprise for me, Toto Aviles, who really has made a household name at center back for Inter Miami. So Coach Mascherano messing around with things tonight, trying to see what might be able to work for the squad moving forward. And then Davi Ruiz playing on the right side. Your attackers tonight, Fafa Pico off the left, Talasco Segovia centralized playing that attacking mid, and Benjamin Kromaski coming off the right. Tadeo Allende, the lone striker up top. DC United's going with that 4-3-3. Barraza in keep. From left to right, their defenders, Schnegg, Rouse, Bartlett, and Antley. They're midfielders, defensive midfielders, we'll call them. Cervania, Peltoa, and Pirani. Believe it or not, Pirani, second in goals for DC United behind Christian Benteke this season. Now, he only got 4, but Benteke does have 8, certainly a respectable amount within the MLS so far this season. But Pirani, one of the more dangerous goal scorers for DC, take that for what it is. And then Kajima off the left as an attacker. Hopkins is the striker tonight, and Herrera is going to be coming off of the right side. Once again, more on DC United. They sit at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They've conceded the most goals in the entirety of the MLS and have scored the fewest. So Christian Benteke, veteran striker, certainly one of the better strikers we've seen in the MLS in recent years, won the 2024 Golden Boot. He is not in the lineup coming up tonight. Now, I mentioned that I think Allende gets back on track, and I'm going to reiterate that too. I really do think this could be an Allende kind of get back right game. He's really good at getting balls and stopping them in the air. It's just that first touch. Once he gets that ball on his boot, he's been having issues with the next move after that. Now, I think at striker, it kind of dumps things down a bit. Instead of being on the wing, when you're on the wing or you're playing right mid or left mid and you're expected to make a move with the ball, I feel like that's pressure. And I'm not saying Allende can't handle the pressure, but it's not been there the last couple of fixtures when he's been coming off of the sides. So I think I know where Coach Mascherano's mindset is tonight when it comes to that. I think he's trying to make things easy for him. He's a great goal scorer too. When that ball gets to his boot, he could put it behind the net. So I think with Talasco Segovia playing behind him, giving him passes in the middle, kind of Allende making the right runs and Segovia giving him some service, I think it could work out. I think Davi Ruiz, too, it's going to be up to him to make some brilliant passes from the midfield, too. So many times we've seen Sergio Busquets in the last 2 to 3 fixtures have great passes from that midfielder spot. And that's kind of where he's playing tonight. Now, I believe Aviles, I'd like to believe Aviles is going to spend some time up front as much as Davi Ruiz tonight. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ruiz is the one holding and Aviles will be the one kind of around the box. But I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think Aviles is going to be the holding DM tonight. And I think Davi Ruiz is going to have the ball at his feet more often than not than his counterpart in Toto Aviles. And then Benjamin Kromaski coming off of the right. I always love to see Kromaski get minutes. One of the better young players for Inter Miami. Came up with Inter Miami. He's had caps with the United States men's national team. So anytime I see Kromaski out there, I really do get a smile on my face. And I'm hoping he can take advantage of the opportunity tonight too. And same goes for Fafa Pico. Pico's got a tremendous opportunity tonight as well. Veteran player. I mean, my gosh, guys, he's logged in a lot of minutes throughout the MLS, in the history of his career. From the area, too, a real good story, man. I actually did get to talk to Fafa Pico before the season started in an interview, and he was just so ecstatic to be at the club, and I'm happy he's going to be getting a massive opportunity tonight to prove to Coach Mascherano that maybe he should be on the pitch a little more than he has. All right, it is that time, folks, to send it pitch side to Ken Levica, the voice of the Herons, and our OG on-site producer, producer Oscar Gonzalez. Inter Miami and DC United from the nation's capital coming up next. Ken will go through the starting 11s again, and he will get you right for kickoff in just a moment. This has been the Inter Miami pregame show. I will catch up with you guys coming up at halftime. We'll have highlights, analysis, stats, all that coming your way at the break. You're listening to your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025
check.
Defender
1, 2,
110
3, 4, 5.
P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch.
Oh, it's a cannon shot. Go ahead and give him the goal of the week.
Here's Ken LaVicka.
Inter Miami hits the road back to MLS play before a massive semifinal in the League's Cup midweek. Inter Miami 5th in the Eastern Conference with an opportunity, if things go their way tonight, to get into the top 3 in the East, paying a visit to the basement dwellers in the Eastern Conference, DC United. We welcome you to Audi Field in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I'm Ken LaVicka. To my right, the OG on-site engineer, Oscar Gonzalez. Inter Miami comes into this one fresh off of a dramatic penalty-filled Luis Suarez dominated 2-1 victory over Tigres in the quarterfinal of the League's Cup on Wednesday. And it is, for Inter Miami, the most unique starting 11 is the best way to put it here in 2025 as we near kickoff. Inter Miami, Rocco Rios Novo back in goal. By the way, in his starts this season, all competitions, 5 victories, a draw, 0 defeats for Rocco Rios Novo. Noah Allen, Ryan Saylor, Gonzalo Lujan, Marcelo Wega, left to right. Along the back for Tomas Aviles, Davi Ruiz, Talasco Segovia in the midfield, Fafa Pico, Tadeo Allende, Ben Kromaski are at the top of Javier Mascherano's 4-2-3-1. There is the whistle from referee Ricardo Montero. We are underway here tonight in Washington, D.C. Inter Miami comes into this one, 13 victories on the season, 5 defeats, 6 draws, 45 points in the table, 5th in the Eastern Conference. D.C. United, only 4 wins, 15 losses, 8 draws, 20 points. That is 15th, dead last in the Eastern Conference. Inter Miami going left to right in the attack here in the opening 45 minutes. Davi Ruiz, who hasn't played in 163 days for Inter Miami, has the ball in the Inter Miami defensive half, left side of the pitch. Tomas Aviles. This is his first start since a 0-0 draw against FC Cincinnati right before Leagues Cup play started. Inter Miami into the attacking third. This the right side of this natural surface here at Audi Field. Capacity 20,000. Lionel Messi not playing tonight. He is resting up for the matchup, and here's a cross from the near touchline, right to left. It is cleared away by DC United. Lionel Messi not playing. He did not make the trip, and he is resting up. The hope is in the Inter Miami facility, he will be good to go against Orlando City in Wednesday's semifinal of the Leagues Cup. Luis Suarez is available, as is Rodrigo de Paul for Javier Mascherano tonight. DC United on the ball for the first time in their defensive half, and then they promptly leak it out of play near touchline in the Inter Miami defensive half, just about 3 yards inside the midfield stripe. Inter Miami in all pink tonight, head to toe, black lettering, numbering, and trim. DC United in their home black kits with white lettering and numbering, red trim. Inter Miami, last time that we saw them in MLS play, a 3-1 triumph over LA Galaxy at Chase Stadium. Lionel Messi substituting in at halftime along with Rodrigo de Paul. Messi scoring in the 83rd. Luis Suarez would add a goal just before the 90-minute mark. Inter Miami rushes into the right attacking third. Noah Allen was dispossessed. DC United gets a touch on it. Fafa Pico, though, left to the box along the left touchline, able to gain possession. Inter Miami will work it to the left flank. Here's Segovia. Now pushes Davi Ruiz. Far touchline, about 25 yards out. Allen pops it into the box, was looking for Allende, who's playing the 9 tonight for Inter Miami, but he couldn't get on the end of it. And finally, Ryan Saylor, who is making his first start of the season, hits it out of play about 30 yards from the DC United goal across the far touchline. Throw in for DC United. Well, DC United, if you're being polite, this season has been unpleasant. If you are being realistic, it has been a catastrophe. Nothing has gone right for DC United. You heard Mike Rizzo talk about it in the pregame show. They have not won a match since May 31st. It has been disastrous for this side. Since then, 0 wins, 8 defeats, 2 draws, and you can tack on another defeat to make it 9 all competitions. That one loss, that additional loss to make it 9, was in the U.S. Open Cup when DC United blew a 2-0 advantage, lost 5-2 to Nashville, and that cost Troy Lesane his job as manager of DC United after a season and a half. Rene Weiler, a native of Switzerland, is now the manager for DC United. He debuted last Saturday in a 1-1 draw against Montreal. He replaced the interim Kevin Flanagan, who goes back to his role as the academy director at DC United. So as you can see, it has been a disaster of all sorts for DC United this season. A once proud franchise, a stalwart, a cornerstone in the bedrock of MLS, and they have been all but irrelevant since Wayne Rooney left the club several years ago. DC United, though, in the attacking third along the near touchline. DC United in their attack right to left here in the first 45. They defer briefly to their right defensive half. On the left flank, 40 yards out, DC United possesses, and they strike it back into the defensive half immediately onto Kai Rolls. Now, it goes near side to far side. On the right flank, Aaron Herrera, and DC United is content just to play it back defensive portion of the midfield circle. 5 minutes in, Inter Miami and DC United 0-0. DC United all time has the series lead. 4 victories for DC United, 3 for Inter Miami. Here's a long ball from the defensive half, and well played by Gonzalo Lujan. About 25 yards from goal, swept it on to the goalkeeper, Rocco Rios Novo, the young 24-year-old. And then Inter Miami will have a throw-in its left defensive third. Tomas Aviles was trying to cut it to the inside, and it knocked out of play by Jose Kajima. Rene Weiler was actually named manager for DC United on July the 16th, but didn't take command on the club along the touchline until last weekend. Here's Rocco Rios Novo in his left box, and he's going to feed it to Ryan Saylor just outside the left portion of the area. Inter Miami having some trouble staying in possession. Tadeo Allende, as we mentioned, playing the 9 for Inter Miami. That gets him out of a role where perhaps he has to try and possess or one touch. Now he can play the pure striker role. That's been occupied all season long by Luis Suarez, who, as he mentioned a week ago, he takes pride in the fact he's been available all year long. That is 100% accurate. Inter Miami defensive midfield, Talasco Segovia. And a giveaway by Kromaski for Inter Miami. DC United charges forward on the left wing, Kojima. Kojima gets just left of the box, cuts it to the inside left box. Kojima cuts it back once, twice, still dribbling, and finally Gonzalo Lujan picked his pocket, but then the clearance went off of the heel of Ben Kromaski. He was making a mess of this sequence, and it went off his heel again as Segovia tried to find him along the near touchline. And now DC United back in possession. That was hideous from Ben Kromaski. And Inter Miami's going to survive that push from DC United. But Javier Mascherano can't be happy seeing Kromaski, who is back in his natural position on the right wing. That was ghastly from Kromaski. 7.5 minutes in, Inter Miami, DC United are scoreless. DC United has conceded 52 times this season. That is second worst in Major League Soccer. Only 23 goals. That is dead last in the league. Inter Miami long ball. Allende able to win it on the left wing. In the right attacking third, on to Segovia. Segovia tried to play it through to a cutting Noah Allen, who is coming from the left of the box. But good anticipation from Aaron Herrera of DC United, and DC United will simply clear it back into the Inter Miami left defensive half, and it's rolled back to Oscar Ustari, 35 yards from his goal. There are some wet patches, some soggy patches all over this surface here at Audi Field. Looks a bit slick out there. We are not too far from the U.S. Capitol. If you are sitting in a right spot behind the north end goal, you'll see the U.S. Capitol from this venue. Inter Miami dispossessed in its attacking third. Long ball up ahead. It was intended for Gabriel Pirani, and Inter Miami does well to win it back. That was well played by Marcelo Wagon. Fafa Pico, a poor touch in the defensive midfield. DC United controlling play right now. Middle channel. Here's Matty Peltola. Sprays it to the far touchline. Left attacking third, DC United. An attempted one touch onto a vertical run. Aaron Herrera outside the right box, but a bit too much on it. And it rolls across the right end line. Randall Leal didn't exactly have a pillow soft hit on that pass for DC United. And Inter Miami's going to play it out of the back. Inter Miami, 53 goals on the campaign, tied for first in MLS with their rivals to the north, Orlando City, who come to Chase Stadium Wednesday in the League's Cup semifinal. There's no hotter team in MLS right now than Orlando City. Kojima along the near touchline, left attacking third, trying to cut it inside on Kromaski. Kromaski dispossessed him momentarily, but DC United hustles to the ball and win it back. Snag across to the middle, and a header from about 10 yards just wide to the right of Rocco Rios Novo's goal. Herrera gave it an outstanding chance with his head as he flicked it on right side of his scalp. His momentum was carrying him away from goal, but he just sent it wide of the far post. That was an exceptional delivery. Kojima on the mark. And Inter Miami is fortunate not to trail in a bad giveaway. In the Inter Miami defensive third, and it rolled to the top of the box where Hopkins put a big right foot into it, but it was blocked out of play wide of the right post. Cervania was able to come up with the steal. That was Again, Ben Kromoski just getting bullied off the ball. He has had a horrendous start to this match here tonight. We are nearing the 11th minute, and we welcome you into it. 0-0, Inter Miami and DC United. DC United dead last in the East, second worst team in points in Major League Soccer, and they've been the better side with no Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Rodrigo de Paul for Inter Miami. Inter Miami has looked ragged. They have not even approached the goal of Luis Barraza for DC United. This will be Herrera for DC United, far side and near side corner. It's an outswinger sent to the penalty yard. Two headers to the near post. And Ryan Saylor for Inter Miami to the right of the 6-yard box has to concede a corner with his head. There are unmarked DC United players absolutely everywhere. Bartlett, middle of the box, spent it to the far post where it was headed away by Leal. He couldn't put it on the mark, but Ryan Saylor, leaving nothing to chance, just headed it across the right end line. DC United, another far side and near side corner. Herrera again. This one's headed towards the penalty arc. This one's still headed back into play, into the middle of the box by Bartlett. But Inter Miami, a better job to clear. But here is a goal as it was sped back. Right box. And a crushing hit from Jackson Hopkins with a right foot. Beats Rios Nova, who didn't stand a chance. Inter Miami's defense has been nightmarish. And DC United a deserved lead. 1-0, only 12 minutes in, and it's Inter Miami that looks like the Eastern Conference basement dweller, not DC United. This has been a tragic effort from Inter Miami at the onset. I mean, just abominable. So off the corner, Inter Miami allows it to be headed into the middle of the box. It was cleared away initially, but a simple little prayer entry high into the air, about 40 feet by Lucas Bartlett. That's one of those where you just send it into the stratosphere and you hope maybe it falls into somebody. And Jackson Hopkins, one touch to with a right foot, turned and blasted it by Rios Novo. This has been wildly poor. And for Jackson Hopkins at 21 years old, his second goal of the season, and this a career highlight, doing it against Inter Miami. So Inter Miami off the restart, has into the attacking midfield. Talasco Segovia sends it deep into the defensive half near touchline Lujan. And now from the inside, Aviles is going to feed Ryan Saylor. Saylor rushes into the right attacking half. Good ball along the far touchline, left of the box, and it is slid out of play by Leal. Inter Miami's going to have a throw-in about even with the far side top of the box. Fafa Pico's had one touch here in the first 14 minutes, and it's not really his fault. It was touched on for the second time tonight by Pico, but Inter Miami to the left defensive half, and then DC United with an awful concession of a corner across the left end line. It was struck with a head outside the upper left of the box, trying to direct it onto the keeper, and Rolls just watched it roll out of play. So Inter Miami gifted a set piece. This corner brought to you by Lighterwater Smith, Ivy, and Pronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Kromoski, far side and near side corner. This will be an in-swinger. And he sends it high into the air to the back post. Pico got a head on it, tried to direct it on goal. It hits the side netting near post. That's the closest Inter Miami has been to asking a single question tonight. Jackson Hopkins, wearing the captain's armband, has the goal for DC United to put them up 1-0 over Inter Miami. Hopkins, wearing the captain's armband, he's the youngest captain in the history of DC United at 21 years of age. So already a special night from him. And boy, that goal that Inter Miami gave up is just horrendous. As Bartlett from 35 yards away just sent a ball 40 yards into the air towards goal. And somehow Hopkins got on the end of it, touched it onto himself. DC United back in its attacking third left side of the pitch. Inter Miami cannot get it out of its defensive midfield, and a foul is called on Telasco. Segovia make that Davi Ruiz as Peltola went to ground about 30 yards away on the right wing. So now a set piece for DC United. They're going to have an opportunity to whip this into the box. DC United 1, Inter Miami 0. Across the threshold of the 16th minute. This is a very similar start to Inter Miami paying a visit to Montreal coming off the FIFA Club World Cup, where they went down immediately. Or the trip to New Jersey to play New York Red Bulls, an early concession. Here's the set piece sent to the left box. Headed into the middle. Look out! Still loose. Allen sent it as far as the penalty spot. It was being pinballed around right in front of Rocco Rios Novo. Now Peltola will send a ball to the left wing, and that is going to be deflected out of play by DC United. Lucas Bartlett have it go off the right side of his head near touchline. Inter Miami from its defensive half is going to try and hold on to any semblance of possession. It has been few and far between. Aviles sends a square ball from the inside of the far side. Ryan Saylor gives it right back to Aviles in front of his own penalty arc. Inter Miami left to right in the attack. There hasn't been much in the way of an attack, though. 17 minutes in. Rocco Rios Novo dribbles outside of his box, outside of his penalty arc, and now Inter Miami tries to lurch forward. A nutmeg pass from Kramaski to Lujan. He's going to send it up the near touchline. That's swept away, though, by DC United to the midfield stripe. But a opportunity to play it into the attacking half for DC United, intercepted briefly by Inter Miami before a long ball sent in from the defensive half. Saylor trying to feed attacking midfield. Pico got a head on it for Inter Miami. Pico's down. DC United's going to strike it out of play so that the referee can check on Fafa Pico. Inter Miami 55.5% possession this year on average. That is third best in Major League Soccer, but the way things are going here tonight as we approach minute number 18, that's about to come down. Sportsmanship here from Inter Miami. They return to the favor as DC United halted play for a check on Fafa Pico. So Inter Miami throws it to the DC United goalkeeper, Luis Barraza. Good job by Rios Novo on a well-struck ball from the defensive half to the attacking half to come up and make sure Jackson Hopkins couldn't get on the end of it. About 25 yards away, and he right foot missiles it into the seats across the far touchline. Audi Field opened July 9th, 2018. It has not seen much in the way of winning football here. Tadeo Allende and Marcelo Weigand trying to press high. The DC United crowd chanting, "Where is Messi?" He is not on the trip. There's your answer. The hope is he is going to be able to give it a go with his right leg injury that was re-aggravated in the win over LA Galaxy a week ago. Wednesday when Orlando City comes in. Long ball defensive half. Allende can't get to it just outside the upper right. And DC United has been really good defensively. And Kojima will bring it into the left attacking half along the near touchline. Kojima couldn't send a feed to the near touchline Hopkins, but then won it right back as Lujan overran the ball. And now DC United will be able to settle into the attack. Left side of the pitch is the attacking half for DC United, who have it in their defensive portion as we speak. The ball scoots across the back end of the midfield circle. And Inter Miami not showing much in the way of a high press. Here's Peltola, the Finnish international in the midfield defensive side. Good touch by Kramaski to win the ball back for Inter Miami, and then Kramaski miscommunicating with Weigand, just sent the ball across the near touchline. Kramaski is really upset with Weigand. Kramaski's going to win it back off the DC United throw-in, and then he's finally fouled in the attacking half, hugging that touchline near side. It has not been a good evening through 20 minutes for Ben Kramaski so far, and he is wearing it on his sleeve. He is intensely frustrated. 1-0 DC United. Early goal, Jackson Hopkins, the second of his career, getting his 6th start tonight. At the top of the DC United 4-3-2-1, replacing Christian Benteke, the 2024 MLS Golden Boot winner and former Aston Villa man. Benteke not even available tonight for N.A. Weiler. Inter Miami, good ball from the back. Lujan sends it midfield circle. Segovia into the right attacking half. On the left flank, here's Noah Allen. Pushes it to the inside. Segovia about 35 yards away. Segovia curls the ball to the near touchline. Chested down Wagon. Kojima tracks him defensively for DC United. Inside again, middle channel. Segovia had it hop over his right foot, but Inter Miami's going to win it back with Ruiz. Well done. And then Wagon was offside as a ball was fed from 40 yards out to the right of the box. Wagon had to stand flat-footed. And that is indicative of the night it has been for Inter Miami as the ball harmlessly rolls across the right end line, and it's a goal kick for DC United. DC United, four-time MLS Cup champions, 96, 97, 99, and 2004. They've claimed the U.S. Open Cup 3 different times in franchise history. Four-time Supporter Shield winners. Bruce Arena is the most decorated manager in DC United history. He was the boss upon inception, won 2 MLS Cups, one of those 4 U.S. Open Cups, or 3, I should say. Then our good friend, South Florida resident Thomas Rungan, won the 99 MLS Cup with DC United and the Supporter Shield that year. And then Peter Nowak won the MLS Cup and a Supporter Shield as the manager of DC United. Ironically, Novak was part of the starting 11 for Chicago Fire in 1998 when they beat DC United at the Rose Bowl for an MLS Cup in Chicago's inaugural season. Still the only MLS Cup in Chicago's history. Another errant ball from the midfield for Inter Miami, up over the head of Marcelo Wagon, well out of his reach across the near touchline, but Inter Miami is going to win it in its attacking midfield. But there is not a lot of urgency right now or communication for this Inter Miami side. Sailor to the far touchline, 40 yards out, Noah Allen. Allen holds up play, feeds it Fafa Pico. Recycled with him 40 yards away. Now Ruiz into the middle channel, gives it up Kremoski short range, and now he'll push a ball in the Inter Miami attacking third near touchline. Wagon feeds the box. It was weakly cleared away. Now a shot from Sailor from 27 yards away. Put a big hit into it with the right foot. Just up and over the crossbar, but that's better from Inter Miami, and it takes the seldom used left center back, Ryan Sailor, to finally show a little bit of aggression for Inter Miami tonight. That was not cleared well by Lucas Bartlett, and Sailor did not miss that crossbar by much. He was about 4 feet over the crossbar. That was a pretty good hit, especially not someone who's relied upon to score. The goal kick for Barraza. That's the only time we've mentioned the DC United keeper tonight is on goal kicks, because he hasn't really been challenged. Inter Miami is going to win it in its defensive third left side. On the far portion of the pitch, Ryan Sailor, as the ball works its way to the near side now in the left attacking half. Gonzalo Lujan on to Tomas Aviles, who's playing in the midfield tonight, a holding midfielder for Inter Miami. Sergio Busquets is on the bench tonight. Here's a long ball. Inter Miami right attacking third. Allende just gets shouldered down along the near right touchline, and the referee says Kai rolls. That's legal. But Allende's got to be stronger trying to get to this ball. I mean, Kai Rolls was able to get even with Allende on the run. And so the referee said, hey, for that effort, you get rewarded. Inter Miami concedes a corner in DC United's left attacking half along the far side. DC United 1, Inter Miami 0. We are just over 25 minutes in, and it's been a 25 minutes to forget for Inter Miami. Inter Miami playing the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Javier Mascherano trying to get all the big hitters rest before Orlando City, a team that has dominated Inter Miami this season to the tune of outscoring the men in pink 7-1 in 2 matches, season sweep in the regular season, trying to get the big hitters rest. Messi, Suarez, Alba, who's nursing an ankle injury that he suffered against Tigres. on Wednesday in the quarterfinal of the League's Cup. Busquets, Bright, trying to get them all rest. But at this rate, Javier Mascherano is going to have to substitute in some of those big names. 26th minute, 1-0 DC United, and Inter Miami's had it in its left defensive half for the last 90 seconds or so, unable to push forward into the midfield. So far, some of the players who went public pushing for more playing time, they have been a complete non-factor tonight. Inter Miami, once again, can't control it in its defensive midfield. Ben Kremoski had a nifty one-touch around a defender, but for not. Kremoski, left of the midfield circle, enters the right attacking half. Square ball on to Lujan, right flank, 40 yards out. Inside to Segovia. Segovia plays it to Allende on the right wing. He'll head inside, gives it up Kremoski. He'll sweep it onto the far touchline. Allen, he'll feed the box. Far post! Wagon almost got a head on it. Was it struck out by DC United on a head? The answer is yes. This is going to be a near corner, right near the flag throw-in for Marcelo Wagon. It tracks back near the hash to the right of the box, and he'll throw it in. 2 hops to Allende, right back to Wagon. Inter Miami right attacking third. Lujan is simply going to send it back to the attacking midfield. Avila's now midfield circle. Ryan Saylor, who shuffles a right-footed pass to Noah Allen. Now Kremoski plays it back briefly, defensive half Ryan Saylor, who has the only thing resembling a shot here tonight. Good ball, near touchline. Lujan, well-paced cross, headed in the air by DC United. Cleared on a second header, and then a chunked shot from Noah Allen from 30 yards out. Didn't get any closer than the penalty spot. DC United handled that. Ruiz misplays a left-footed sweep trying to get possession for Inter Miami, and then he gets bullied off the ball easily by Gabriel Pirani of DC United. And DC United's going to settle back into its defensive third. We welcome you to the 28th minute. 1-0 DC United on top. Inter Miami, and you may say to yourself, well, it's just DC United, it's fine. You've got a semifinal. And that's accurate to an extent. But if you give up points tonight to the 15th place team in the East, last place team in the East, Inter Miami came into this evening, projected points, still on a path to win the Supporters' Shield. If you lose tonight, you can pretty much kiss the Supporters' Shield goodbye. And Inter Miami, 7 points from the top spot in the East, 6 points outside the playoff picture. DC United has something cooking. Pirani, middle channel, sends it to the left, Kojima. Kojima, left box. Oh, Rios Novo diving to his left, able to swat a save just outside the far post. Rios Novo saved the day. It was nearly 2-0 DC United. Kojima denied by Rios Novo, who was able to play the angle. Oh, that was terrifying. And it was Gonzalo Lujan who was nowhere to be found defensively. 1-0 DC United, set piece far side to near side. Last time DC United had this situation, they scored. As we are 29.5 minutes in, outswinging corner Herrera. It bounces high in the air. Allen whiffed on, attempted a clearance. Finally got a left foot on it to punch it away. Then chested by Segovia, and Segovia is held by Peltola. Are they going to call a handball on Segovia? It's a handball on Segovia, went off of his right arm. Well, Inter Miami is being diced and gashed by DC United. Boy, Lujan is just off balance. He's turned around. Rios Nova, outstanding reflexes on the save. That is his first save tonight. .98 shots on target for DC United this season. That's 4th worst in MLS. Inter Miami has yet to put a shot on target. We've crossed the half-hour mark of this first half. A long set piece from 40 yards out, headed into the middle from right of the 6-yard box, but a foul whistled against Lucas Bartlett, the right center back of DC United, as he tried to climb the back of Ryan Saylor. Can Inter Miami show any sort of resistance here and any sort of ability in the attack in the final 15 minutes of this first half. 1-0 DC United on top. And Inter Miami far side. High wiring the touchline. Gets it into the right attacking third. Noah Allen was trying to make that. Kremoski was trying to traverse forward. Cervania wiped that out. The DC United midfielder. And Inter Miami is going to send the throw in all the way back to the defensive midfield. Far side to middle circle pass onto Aviles. And now Gonzalo Lujan. One-touched it to Wagon. He was between steps, but able to give it back to Aviles on the defensive side of the midfield circle. And now back into the attacking half, left to right, is Inter Miami. And a poor pass from Saylor, tackled away easily by DC United. And then a whistle and a foul behind the play. DC United was allowed advantage, and now the referee, Ricardo Montero, blows the play dead. And it'll be DC United playing out of its defensive half. A long ball sent high into this Saturday night air, and Kojima hustles to it around Aviles, got around the 6-yard box, nearly linked up with Hopkins, cleared away at the last moment by Noah Allen. DC United nearly had a tap-in goal, and then Segovia fouls Peltola in the DC United attacking half, about 40 yards away. DC United is sending simple high school level balls into the attacking third. And I do not know for the life of me what Davi Ruiz is doing, just sauntering towards the ball as Jose Kojima just sprints his way to it and then muscled his way to the end line and sent a great cross in that was just off the mark for Hopkins. So a left flank, 40 yards out, set piece, Herrera for DC United from the near side. Right foot rolls it left box. Something off of the training ground. Inter Miami read it well because DC United did not execute that well. Rolled on to Fafa Pico. Now Inter Miami will try and come out of its defensive half. 1-0 DC United. Minute number 33. Lujan attacking half. 37 yards away. Right flank now along the touchline. Pico. Tried to curl a feed on the Lujan, and it was in traffic and picked off. And now DC United again on the counter. It is hauled in by Pirani to the inside, 30 yards away, Hopkins. And now Kojima has to hold up play, much to the anger of this DC United crowd. And then he sent a poor ball backwards, and having in a retreat to win it was Randall Leal. Leal in his 6th MLS season. Costa Rican international. And DC United's going to reset the attack as they go right to left. And now into the left attacking half. Skipping into play is Bartlett. Now Kojima to the right of the box. Makes a turn on Saylor. Kojima still possesses. He is flanked by 2 defenders, and he won a corner off of Inter Miami. Kojima just wants it more. And DC United's going to have a corner far side to near side. I mean, at this rate, Javier Mascherano's going to have to make halftime substitutions against the last place side in the Eastern Conference. This isn't sustainable. 34-41, 34-42, 34-43. The 4th corner in this opening half for DC United. Herrera puts his right arm in the air, sends in an outswinging corner, the penalty spot, and it was headed on to Rocco Rios Novo on a one-hop. He was well positioned, good distribution, right hand, and now Pico sprints forward in a violent tackle, and a yellow card coming. As Pico entered the right attacking half, Herrera showing a card, and good for Ben Kremoski going right at Herrera. That was unbelievably dangerous by Herrera. And if Pico is 10 yards forward, that might have been a straight red, denying a goal-scoring opportunity. And wait, is there another card coming? No, it is the yellow for Herrera. That is an unacceptably dangerous tackle from Aaron Herrera. That's how you break legs with a type of tackle like that from Aaron Herrera. There's no need for that. Straight up, elevated right foot kick to the front of the leg of Fafa Picault. Maybe that'll insert some life in Inter Miami. Kromoski was upset and retaliated immediately. Let's see if that gets him going. We are into the threshold of the 36th minute. Talasco Segovia wins a ball on the right flank. He's 30 yards away, sends it near touchline onto Kromoski. Kromoski heads to the inside, ran into a defender, but it rolls right to Aviles of Inter Miami. Now Weigand sends a near side ball, midfield circle, Sailor, and he's going to distribute to the far touchline, Noah Allen. Allen wearing the captain's armband tonight for Inter Miami. Ruiz, short range, Picault. Inter Miami working on the left flank, and they have to defer all the way back to the defensive half again, left to the midfield circle for Ryan Sailor. Now near touchline, Weigand back into the right attacking third. A right foot onto Kromoski. A little 1-2 with Weigand, who heads to the inside. He's about even with the midfield circle attacking half. Now a high long ball left box, chested down Picault. Picault juggles twice, gives it to Allen now, left wing, Davi Ruiz. His first appearance in 163 days. We haven't seen him since second leg Cavalier CONCACAF Champions Cup. Picault heads a ball left box to the angle far side of the 6-yard area. Wanted Allende, but Barraza there to fall on the ball and nestle it into his chest. And that sequence in the attack comes to an end for Inter Miami. DC United with an early goal just past 11 minutes in. Jackson Hopkins for DC United. Ryan Sailor called for a foul as DC United was getting into the far side of its attacking half. DC United right to left, pushing forward, and they've done that a good portion of this first half. Inter Miami has Ian Frey, Rodrigo DePaul, Luis Suarez available. You just never know. Javier Mascherano's probably going to have to go to his bench at some point here. Into the 38th minute, DC United 1, Inter Miami 1. Ball even with the top far side of the midfield circle, and the free kick for DC United picked off by Marcelo Weigand of Inter Miami, and just a horrendous ball trying to find Davi Ruiz, defensive half to right attacking half. And then DC United simply just dribbles it out of play with David Schnegg. Not real sure what his plan was there, and Inter Miami will gladly take a defensive half near side throw in. Want to welcome everybody listening tonight on the Deportes Radio FC app, as well as internationally on YouTube. Inter Miami fans wish I had better news for you. DC United 1, Inter Miami 0, as we bring you into the 39th minute, getting into the sunset stages of the first half and sunset stages of this Saturday night in the United States Capitol. Weigand right attacking third, right of the box, sends it to the right portion of the area. That's cleared away easily by DC United. Tadeo Allende tried to steal it back, but he has called for a push in the back of DC United's Gabriel Pirani. And the whistle blows and a foul is called. Pirani has played for the Brazilian youth, won the 2023 Copa Libertadores with Fluminense. Third year with DC United. Played with Santos FC in Brazil before coming to the nation's capital. A lot of youth on this DC United team, including the DC United goal scorer tonight, 21-year-old Jackson Hopkins, who came through the DC United Academy. Played with Loudoun United, who spent many years as the feeder team to DC United in the USL Championship, now part of MLS Next, or now independent, I should say. Inter Miami trying to play it out of the back, goes through the wickets of Weigand. Oh, what a touch. Hopkins, left box, gets to the end line. He tried to cross it near post. Sailor is there to wipe that out for Inter Miami off his head. But man, this is so sloppy in the back for Inter Miami. And then Aviles played a ball off of the chest of Talasco Segovia, who was laying prone on the ground. Segovia was knocked down by Peltola, for DC United, and he is shown a yellow card. That's the second card for DC United in this opening half. We're going to get a look on a replay. And Peltola, he initially got a touch on the ball, but then the extension of his tackle rode right in to the left knee of Telasco Segovia. Then it looks like Segovia took a boot to the back of the head while the ball was approaching his rib cage. He took quite a ride there to Telasco Segovia, the Venezuelan international. Inter Miami down 1-0, 41st minute, and Ben Kremoski with a square ball, an attempted square ball near side to far side, and that was vastly under hit and easily chested by Lucas Bartlett back to his keeper, Luis Barraza, at the top border of a 6-yard box. Busquets, Suarez, DePaul all looking on from the Inter Miami touchline, and it's safe to say there is some look of concern from those three. Inter Miami has been outmatched by a Christian Bentaculous DC United side. That's maybe the main storyline here. DC United's really one of their lone veteran stalwarts and biggest talent not playing, not available, and DC United is dictating everything. Inter Miami works its way right attacking half. Left wing Allen chunks one back to Segovia. Segovia wanted to progress forward but had to settle for sending the ball back to the left of the midfield circle. Ryan Saylor now up the right side. Here's Wagon. He tried to feed a ball to Kremoski, and it was deflected and stolen by David Schnegg, and he's going to clear near the midfield, near touchline, and Inter Miami's going to have a throw-in. Oh boy, this is an ugly opening 45, and I think it's worth declaring this may be the ugliest 45. Noah Allen wins a corner for Inter Miami as he blasted a ball off of Randall Leal across the right end line. All Inter Miami corners brought to you by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, represented injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Segovia, short corner outside the upper left. Taken by Kremoski. His shot blocked high into the air, just inside the top border of the box, headed away by DC United. Davi Ruiz tries to box out, win possession, and draws a foul against Aaron Herrera. Crowd doesn't like it. Inter Miami's going to try a quick restart. As we hit 43.5 minutes gone, we'll get an indication of extra time here soon. 40 yards away. It is Tomas Aviles to the opposite wing, Lujan, and just an incredibly poor cross from the right wing to nobody in the right portion of the area. Then Noah Allen, as DC United sent a ball to nobody. Just blasted a ball off his left foot. There was not a single player within 10 yards of him, and he distributes it across the far touchline. I hope I'm conveying properly just how listless this Inter Miami performance has been in the opening 44. And I'm not trying to pile on, but I don't know any other way to describe it. 1-0 Inter Miami trailing DC United. Inter Miami still does not have a shot on target. They only have 3 shots on the match. Throw in the Inter Miami left defensive third. Noah Allen, look out, and it's turned over. Middle channel, 25 yards out, a play through. Lujan cleared it as far as the penalty arc, where it was won back by Hopkins of DC United, but Inter Miami finally able to grab control of this ball. Kremoski spinning amongst 3 defenders, dangerous ball backwards, and Lujan got a touch on it, went off of Gabriel Pirani of DC United. It's a left defensive third, near side throw in Inter Miami. Rios Novo distributes a ball from just outside his goal to Noah Allen, far touchline. Inter Miami playing from left of its own box. Saylor lumbered forward and was finally able to give it off to Lujan, and he comes into the right attacking half. Good ball, Kremoski. Nice play through Allende. Allende entering right box. Low cross, backheeled weakly away by DC United. And then a takedown to the edge of the area. Segovia goes down. The referee says play on. Segovia was bowled over just inside the top of the box. He's still down, clutching at his right ankle. Meanwhile, Inter Miami's going to win the ball in the right attacking half. Segovia's still down. Inter Miami's only playing with 10 men. And now Peltola with a steal in the midfield circle. And there's a foul as Peltola goes down from behind. And now the referee, Ricardo Montero, has the guts to call a foul, but couldn't be bothered when it's Segovia making David Ruiz inside the area for Inter Miami. And he certainly had his boot clipped in the penalty arc. It wouldn't have been a penalty, but it would have been a very short-range free kick. So Jackson Hopkins walks on. And so no added time, no extra time tacked on. It was one additional minute. We went across 45, and that's a wrap. Final whistle sounds. DC United 1, Inter Miami 0. Jackson Hopkins, the goal scorer, 21 years old for DC United. Mike Rizzo has your halftime show in West Palm Beach. Not a lot of Inter Miami highlights. In fact, well, none. 1-0 DC United at halftime. Mike Rizzo has your halftime show next. It's Inter Miami football.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Here's Mike Rizzo.
DC United has something cooking. Brani, middle channel. Sends it to the left. Kojima. Kojima left box. Oh, Rios Novo. Diving to his left. Able to swat a save. Just outside the far post. Rios Novo saved the day. It was nearly 2-0 DC United. Kojima denied by Rios Novo.
Folks, that's the only highlight I got of our Inter Miami Herons at the break. A brilliant, truly, honest to God, brilliant Rocco Rios Novo save. Put it in perspective, he was guarding near post and went back to his left side. Near post was right, went back to his left side, made an unbelievable save. And you heard Ken Levicka there, the voice of the Inter Miami Herons on the call. But welcome on in to our halftime show here on your Inter Miami radio network. Like I said, not a lot to cheer for our Inter Miami Herons in the first half, but that's why we play two halves of football. I'm assuming Coach Mascherano going to be doing some substitutions coming up at half, going to be changing up the lineup. We had a couple of questions going into the game with the lineup. Toto Aviles, who really is a household name at center back, playing midfield. Folks, I got to be honest, I don't necessarily think he was a problem or a big problem. It was really just a lack of attack. There was nothing in the attack that was fluid for our Inter Miami Herons in that first half. But like I said, that's why we play two halves. I'm assuming Coach Mascherano is going to be subbing on some guys coming up at halftime to kind of get the cavalry going, get the team going in the nation's capital. But 3 shots total in the first half for Inter Miami. Fafa Pico had the first one in the 6th minute. Ryan Saylor had a power shot from deep in the pitch, 23rd minute. It was really, I think, one of the better attacking sequences that Inter Miami had. In that 23rd minute, Inter Miami was passing it around the box. They were getting some solid link-up plays, some solid passes. It was really the best strand of passes, in my opinion, that Inter Miami was able to put together was that 23rd minute, which ended up getting on the end of Ryan Saylor, center back, at the end of his boot. Pretty good look at it, but it went into the stands. That was the second shot of the game. And then Ben Kromaski had the third chance a little bit before halftime, but no shots on target for our Inter Miami Herons in that first half. With 45, I say 45, there was 1 minute of extra time, and 45 plus 1, it looked like Davi Ruiz was fouled. To be quite honest with you folks, I don't understand how a foul wasn't called. It wouldn't have been a PK, it wouldn't have been a spot penalty kick, but it would have been a free kick. It would have been from a dangerous position outside of the box. You would assume Telasco Segovia in that lineup would probably be the one to take it. But I think that was a miss. I think the referee got that wrong. And then about 20 seconds after I thought the referee missed that call, the referee gets a yellow card on Inter Miami. And that brings us into the statistics of the half. Let's get you updated on what's going on in the nation's capital. Now, a couple of guys got some cards in the first half, but let's start with what's going on the stat side. As I mentioned, Inter Miami, 3 total shots, but they are controlling the ball 66%. They have a lot of the ball. They're just not doing a lot with it. DC United only with 34%. And then here's the big difference. 7 shots total, 2 on target for DC United. 1 big chance missed. And as I've mentioned, no shots on target for our Herons, 0 big chances. And in order to have a big chance missed, you got to have a big chance. So not a lot of offense for our Herons. DC United got a lot of their let's put it this way. I feel like DC United got a lot of their chances off of Inter Miami mistakes. Inter Miami had a couple of chances to clear the ball out of the box. Just bad clearances, not getting the ball on the right people's foot. Get your ball to a dribble or get your ball to Telasco Segovia and get it out of your own third, or just boot it to the other side. You didn't see much of that early on. I feel like the first 20 minutes of the game, they took advantage of. And obviously with Hopkins' goal in the 13th minute, which opened up the scoring, that's kind of when things were on its head. From 0 to about 20, DC United controlled the game, and they took advantages of the chances, as I've mentioned, from Inter Miami, self-inflicted wounds, not clearing the ball. Let's take a listen to that Hopkins goal in the 13th minute.
Inter Miami, better job to clear, but here is a goal as it was sped back, right box, and a crushing hit from Jackson Hopkins with a right foot beats Rios Nova, who didn't stand a chance. Inter Miami's defense has been nightmarish, and DC United a deserved lead, 1-0, only 12 minutes in, and it's Inter Miami that looks like the Eastern Conference basement dweller, not DC United.
To Ken's point, 20 points on the table this year for DC United. No Christian Benteke, their best player. Obviously, Inter Miami missing pieces as well. But this certainly is a DC United team who, we got a saying in American sports, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. I mean, let's be honest, folks. This team's not going to the playoffs. They're not playing much of anything right now. They're playing for pride. And they certainly look prideful in the first 20 minutes. But I'll say it for a third time. This is why we play two halves. Let's see what Mascherano does with that lineup. You got guys on the bench who certainly could make a direct impact on the game. You got Yannick Bright, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Rodrigo de Paul, Baltasar Rodriguez. I know Rodriguez has been dealing with an injury it seems like since he came on over from Racing on the Argentinian side. But you have players that can make a direct impact. And let's not forget, too, even on the back line, not saying that I think Luan and Saylor, someone needs to get, as I call it, a stinker and a hook. But I feel like that goal that Hopkins had, not a lot of people were marked, and you saw that on a couple of corner kicks. So I'm interested to see what Coach Mascherano does coming up in the second half. My best guess, I really don't think Suarez comes on. I think it's probably a Baltasar Rodriguez, probably an Ian Frey, probably a Santiago Morales. But as Ken LaVicka knows, I have been wrong on your Inter Miami radio network before. So I just really don't see any of the big four. I guess that's my opinion at the end of the day. I don't know. I think Mascherano went in with a direct plan not to play big four and to play guys. You heard Ken say it during the first half. Play guys who were really vocal to the media that they wanted more opportunities in Kramaski and Pico. So we'll have to wait and see what coach is thinking. We'll have to wait and see what ultimately ends up happening in the second half. 1-0 DC United on top of Inter Miami. Hopkins getting in the back of the net in the 13th minute. The big highlight of the first half for Inter Miami was that big Rocco Rios Novo save, kind of saving the game a bit of not making it 2-0 heading into that. Easily could have been, because I'll tell you what, Kajimi had a brilliant strike on the ball. Looked like it was going in. I think that was Rios Novo's best save in the uniform. Maybe outside of that, Atlanta United. Yeah, Atlanta United had a hell of a save as well. But that is your halftime score, 1-0. We're going to send things back to Ken LaVicka, the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, and the OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, live in the nation's capital. Look out for a couple of substitutions. Once again, my personal opinion, not sure if any of the big four are going to be coming on tonight. Well, let's call it big five now with Rodrigo de Paul. Pitch side coming up next on your Inter Miami radio network.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs Installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Second half just underway as we welcome you back to Washington, D.C. Audi Field. It's Inter Miami football, and it is a 1-0 D.C. United lead over Inter Miami. Ken LaVicka back with you in the nation's capital, the OG. Oscar Gonzalez, onside engineer, and Mike Rizzo handling your pre-half and post-game shows. No changes at halftime for Inter Miami, though we did see a number of players with the pennies on, including Rodrigo DePaul and Luis Suarez at halftime. Inter Miami rushes into the left attacking third, just outside the upper right Allende, across from right of the box. Ben Kromoski takes a strike off a DC United player, and across the far end line, Inter Miami right to left in the attack, earns a corner. Brought to you by Lotta Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Outswinging far side and near side corner, got onto the head of Saylor, but it's directed to the right of the box and across the far touchline. And Ben Kromoski just watched it roll out of play because he thought that it went off of a DC United player. Yikes. So Inter Miami down 1-0. And Mike Rizzo was talking about it at halftime. You've got the semifinal of the Leagues Cup Wednesday. Yes, you'd hate to give up points in the table to a 15th place team, the last place team, but are you, worst case scenario, willing to give up points in the MLS Cup table? As the ball's played off to Rios Novo in front of the Inter Miami goal. Right defensive third for Inter Miami, and he waited a bit and was able to distribute. Are you willing to give up points in the table if you make sure everybody is rested, no action before the semifinal? Here's DC United, left box, and a shot from Pirani blasts off an Inter Miami defender. That was Lujan. Meanwhile, the chase is on for Allende in the defensive half, and here's a steal, Kromoski. It is even strength 3-on-3, and Kromoski, not a good entry feed, left attacking third, but it falls to Segovia. He tried to play it through to Pico, who was in the penalty arc, but Peltola got a touch on it for DC United and mucks that whole thing up. Inter Miami has to gain possession again off a clearance in its right defensive half in the midfield portion. And now Inter Miami, far side and near side to the left of the midfield circle. We'll watch Lujan distribute to Allen. Left side of the pitch, right to left, Inter Miami in the attack. Left flank, 30 yards out, Fafa Pico. Now back left of the midfield O to Aviles. Right flank, Lujan, he's 40 yards away. Dribbles a ball on the far touchline. Ben Kromoski sends a retreating ball on to Lujan. He'll send a square ball, takes one hop to Allen. Good control there, 35 yards away, left flank. Segovia lets it play through to Allende. He turns into the penalty arc. Segovia, he wanted to feed it right of the box. Didn't get there, but then it falls to Allende, and he chunks his shot from the right portion of the arc. That took a deflection, and Inter Miami already has its second corner of the second half. 3 minutes in, presented by Lotta Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Ben Kromoski out swinging, far side to near side corner coming. And he strikes it near post. Saylor got a head on it, but couldn't direct it on target. It goes up and over the DC United goal and out of play, left end line. Ryan Saylor, though, has been involved in the attack, maybe the most involved, at least threatening goal here in this match. Make your plans to join us. Tickets going quickly as Ian Frey, Rodrigo to Paul, Baltasar Rodriguez, Sergio Busquets, Yannick Bright all loosen up along the end line. They've got the pennies on and they're starting to jog. But make your plans to join us for the 8:30 kickoff on Wednesday. Inter Miami, Orlando City, third meeting 2025. Fourth if you want to count the preseason match before the regular season started. It is the Leagues Cup semifinal. Orlando City has bested Inter Miami in both regular season MLS matches, 7-1. The overall scoring difference, the aggregate, if you will. Inter Miami trying to exact some revenge. Weigant goes to ground in the right defensive third. DC United with the steal. Left wing, Servania on to Kijima. Feeds it lower left box, and he could not link up with Gabriel Pirani, and DC United threatening, but Inter Miami's going to have a goal kick. Rodrigo de Paul just dumped an entire water bottle on his head along the end line. Typically he does that when it's about time for him to check in. Another bad giveaway, Inter Miami. It was Lujan. Now top of the box, right-footed shot, and Herrera had it blocked away. Now Inter Miami on the counter. Kromoski, an extremely heavy touch as he tried to get into the right box. He was held up defensively by David Schnegg, and then Kromoski, heavy-footed, gives it away, and DC United able to retrieve. But a long ball won by Weigant, left attacking third. Poor touch, Kromoski again, and then he fouls Peltola, falling to the ground, and a yellow is being shown to Ben Kromoski, who has just not taken advantage of the start tonight. Poor touches, questionable decisions around the box. You'd love to see him take this opportunity and run with it, especially at his natural position on the right wing, but it has not been very crisp tonight from Ben Kromoski. And this is his 16th start of the season. It's not like he has seen a small amount of minutes this year, maybe lately, but not this season as a whole. And DC United just gives the ball away, left defensive third to right attacking third, and Inter Miami watches it sail out of play across the far touchline. They'll take that. Inter Miami a little bit better here on the ball to start the second half. Heavy rotation in this Javier Mascherano 11 tonight. No substitutions yet. Lionel Messi did not make the trip. No Busquets, no Suarez, no DePaul, no Alba, who also didn't make the trip. Inter Miami attacking midfield left side. On the right flank, Segovia feeds far touchline. This ball sent to the penalty arc, could not find Allende. Quick feet from DC United, they win it back, and good short-range passing, but a steal for Ben Kromoski. Picked off a pass intended for Peltola. Inter Miami back on it in the attacking half. Ruiz, good ball to the left side. Allende, or make that Allen just outside the upper left box. But Inter Miami has to play it backwards. It skirts the upper border of the midfield circle, and now Inter Miami back into the left attacking third. Weigant, Pico. Pico has it swiped away off his feet, right of the box. Throw in Inter Miami. Far side attacking half. Pico just has not been able to settle himself into this match. Not a lot of room to operate. He has been marked well, but also Inter Miami's ball movement has not been advantageous for a player like Fafa Pico. Noah Allen make that attacking half. Left flank, about 20 yards from the touchline, near side. Had a pass blocked right back onto his chest, and Inter Miami's going to reset in the defensive midfield right side. Long ball, defensive half, headed to the upper left. The defender fell down. Segovia, left box, Segovia, right foot, and Segovia had it tackled away, and then he commits a foul in the area. Okay, it was Randall Leal with desperate defending. He initially fell down on the long ball. Segovia won it, charged into the box, but could not get a shot off. Great defense by Lucas Bartlett, the right center back, to get into the shooting lane, and then one too many touches from Segovia. That allowed Leal to recover, win it away, and then he was knocked to the ground by Telasco Segovia. Boy, that looked extremely promising and doesn't even result on the first shot on target tonight for Inter Miami, and we're in the 54th minute. Inter Miami is going to win a ball in its defensive half right side. Good job, Pico, to get it to Ruiz. Ruiz rushes into the left attacking half, keeps his footing after contact. Here he comes left wing. Cuts it to the inside. Davi Ruiz feeds it right of the penalty arc. Kromoski in the area. Shot! Took a deflection just wide of the left post. It'll be a corner for Inter Miami, near side to far side, presented by Lotto Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Represented injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Davi Ruiz was absolutely sensational in that sequence. That was extremely well done. Here comes Baltasar Rodriguez. Rodrigo to Paul. Sergio Busquets for Inter Miami. Davi Ruiz will come off after that. So Sergio Busquets is on. Rodrigo de Paul is on for Inter Miami. And we'll get you who they're taking off in just a moment. Near side to far side corner, cleared away. Rodriguez outside the penalty arc. Oh, he put her off the post. I think he put her off the left post. On a shot, it grazed the outside of the left post. Rodriguez, who nearly had a banger goal Wednesday in the Leagues Cup. He lined it up, he gave it a ride, but just not on target. And it sure did graze off the post. Oh, Baltasar Rodriguez, an immediate impact, just like Wednesday against Tigres. All right, so that's better for Inter Miami. Still down 1-0 in the 55th minute. Inter Miami is going to win a defensive third throw-in. And we will update you on who all came off for Inter Miami in just a second, I promise you. Rodrigo de Paul took off Telesco Segovia. Inter Miami turns it over. Good job by Sergio Busquets, though, to control the ball in his own area. Now Inter Miami on the run once again. Here is Fafa Pico. Couldn't get to a pass in the left attacking third. It was a bit behind him, and DC United recovered to win the corner. So Sergio Busquets replaces Gonzalo Lujan. Rodrigo de Paul takes off Telesco Segovia. And it was Sergio, I said Gonzalo Lujan. Right, Sergio Busquets for Gonzalo Lujan. Baltasar Rodriguez for Davi Ruiz, and Rodrigo de Paul replacing Telesco Segovia. So there we go. Let me reset the 11 for Inter Miami. Rocco Rios Novo in goal. Noah Allen, Ryan Saylor, Sergio Busquets, and Chelo Weigott. Part of the defense. Tomas Aviles, Baltasar Rodriguez, Rodrigo de Paul, and then Pico, Allende, and Kromoski. Inter Miami with Baltasar Rodriguez into the left defensive third. De Paul sends it to the outside right flank. Weigott now right of the box. De Paul. De Paul's cross. Chips into the middle. Pico got a touch on it. It's still loose left area. An exceptional piece of hustle from Rodriguez, but he had it tackled off his ankles and out of play near side. Deep in the DC United left attacking third. But Inter Miami is asking all sorts of questions now. They do have a shot on target officially thanks to Baltasar Rodriguez. It went off of the post. He literally was in the match mere seconds. Inter Miami is going to win it again off the DC United throw. DC United now is generating absolutely nothing in the attack. I mean nothing. Inter Miami left attacking half far side. Kromoski played it to nobody in the right box. I think he thought that Rodriguez or De Paul was going to make a run, and it just rolls onto the keeper, Luis Barraza. Barraza and all blue tonight for DC United. Inter Miami head to toe in pink, black lettering, numbering, and trim. DC United home blacks, white lettering, numbering, red trim. Saylor, good header from the defensive half. Here's Busquets. Now sends it right flank to Paul. De Paul charges forward. De Paul outside the right box. De Paul still going. De Paul goes down in the penalty arc. And DC United want it back. Busquets a steal on the right wing. Now Baltasar Rodriguez, middle channel, and he had it taken away on a poorly weighted pass to Sailor, but then Inter Miami, can they win it back? Oh, Baltazar Rodriguez, outstanding hustle near touchline, left attacking half, and then Pico is fouled as he's pushed to the ground by Jackson Hopkins. Baltazar Rodriguez, who's been battling a hip injury, is flying around this pitch here in the nation's capital. Audi Field, Washington, D.C. And Inter Miami down 1-0 in the 59th minute. Rodrigo to Paul, 40 yards away. Good ball outside the upper right. Wagon couldn't handle it. It fell to his feet initially again. And then Kojima came out of that for DC United, and he's fouled from behind by Wagon. 3 substitutions for Javier Mascherano in this second half. Rodrigo to Paul, Sergio Busquets, Baltazar Rodriguez. He would love to not have to go to the bench again. 1-0 DC United. Jackson Hopkins, minute number 12 for DC United. 21-year-old captain, youngest in DC United history with the goal. Ryan Sailor wins another ball in the Inter Miami defensive half. Here's Rodriguez for Inter Miami in front of the midfield stripe attacking half. Now to the right wing to Paul. DePaul's going to line up a shot, and it chunked off of Peltola. Inter Miami's calling for a handball in the box. Meanwhile, Kremoski wins it for Inter Miami, keeps his footing. Then he's ridden down along the end line, and it's a foul against Inter Miami as Kojima just flopped to the surface. Let's see what happened here with Peltola as we pass the hour mark and DC United leads 1-0. We're going to have the first substitution for DC United. This is going to be Jared Stroud. He's in for Gabriel Prani. And then Jacob Morel is going to take on Jose Kojima. So the first 2 substitutions for N.A. Weiler, just a week onto the job as the manager of DC United. Jacob Morel went to nearby Georgetown. 7th pick of the 2024 MLS Super Draft by DC United. And DC United just hits the free kick out of play into the Inter Miami defensive half far side. Luis Suarez is putting the tape on his right hand. He's going to come in for Inter Miami. Anytime that tape comes out and that right hand gets wrapped up, it's time to play for Luis Suarez. So here we go. 61st minute. Inter Miami still chasing a 1-0 deficit to DC United. Inter Miami with Ryan Sailor to the left of the midfield circle in the defensive half. I will say this, Ryan Sailor has been really strong tonight for Inter Miami. Good ball curling from Rodriguez from the midfield circle. And now a cross from the far touchline. It falls to Noah Allen. Right foot and a save from Barraza. It deflected off a DC United defender who was headed to goal, and Barraza on the far post able to poke it across the end line. It's the first save tonight for Barraza. A really good chance for Allen. It's an Inter Miami corner presented by Lauter Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. And here's Luis Suarez to a mix of cheers and boos. Luis Suarez ties his right shoe. 62nd minute. Far side and near side corner. DePaul's going to handle it. DePaul approaches, hits it with his right foot to the middle of the box. It avoided a head, but it falls to Rodriguez. Right foot, I want to go! It took a lasso, left of the penalty arc! It took one hop, and he swiped it with a right foot, and he sniped it into the upper right. Baltazar Rodriguez! What a hit! Prodigious, prolific. We're level at 1 in the 63rd minute. Oh, a rocket shot, a missile from Baltazar Rodriguez. He had a blast saved against Tigres Wednesday. He had a blast go off the post seconds after entering tonight. 3rd time's a charm. You're not going to see a more flush hit of a ball anywhere in this sport. Absolute sliced missile by a sprawling Luis Barraza. That is as good as it gets. That is the first goal for Baltasar Rodriguez in an Inter Miami shirt. And that's the potential he has if he can stay healthy. Oh my goodness. And now it's game on in the nation's capital, and Inter Miami has absolutely dominated this second half. 1-1, Inter Miami and DC United. Baltasar Rodriguez is making DC United players miss all over the place, and now he has a steal in the midfield. Inter Miami on the counter. Rodriguez sends it to the right flank. Rodrigo to Paul. He charges for it outside the upper right. Feeds it right box. Here's a cross Wagon, and that was to nobody. Baltasar Rodriguez still fighting for it, though. Finally won back by DC United, and all they can do is clear into the Inter Miami defensive half. They have zero answers. This is bus parking to the extreme right now for DC United. They cannot get forward. Aviles, midfield strike. Sends it Noah Allen, left attacking third. Wanted to play Pico to the left of the box. Pico fighting for it, kept it in play. There's still a fight for it. Pico still battling in the lower left. He tried to take it away from Antley. Antley cleared, but as far as 30 yards away. Busquets got a head on it near the area, but nobody there. Peltola near the penalty arc. But boy, Inter Miami swarming to the ball, and they're going to win it again. No, a foul is called behind the play, and it's on Busquets. Busquets is not happy with the referee, Ricardo Montero. Baltasar Rodriguez with the goal of his life. He is still as young as can be, and he might not have a better goal in his entire career, no matter how long it lasts, than what he just pulled off here against DC United. I mean, that was absolute artistry. Wow. DC United trying to work into the right attacking half. All they can do is send a long ball. Kromoski does well to just head it back to Rocco Rios Nova. This has been a complete role reversal from the first half. Kromoski at the border of the defensive third. Sent a ball from the far side onto the right foot of Ryan Saylor, a grass-level pass. Now Tomas Aviles is simply going to turn and send it to his own penalty arc for Rocco Rios Novo. Rocco Rios Novo, 6 starts, all competitions this season, has yet to take a loss. 1-1, Inter Miami and DC United, and here's Inter Miami back into the left attacking half. And a good tackle by Jared Stroud. It goes off of Ben Kromoski, and it'll be a throw-in attacking half for DC United. How about this? New England leading Columbus 2-0 right now in the second half. Columbus sits 6th in the East. A foul against DC United in Inter Miami's defensive half, just inside the midfield line. Busquets restarts play, chips it on to Noah Allen, has some real estate. Left attacking third, but he played it back to the attacking midfield, and Busquets is going to roll it into the defensive half. Inter Miami right to left in their attack. 67.5 minutes gone, 1-1. Here's DePaul, middle channel. Wanted to feed it to Suarez. It was popped up in the air by DC United. Won right back by Ryan Saylor of Inter Miami in the defensive midfield circle. Inter Miami trying to play it up the middle, and now they're going to head to the right side, far side. Wagon 40 yards out. Wanted to send a ball ahead. Instead rolls it back towards the midfield stripe. That was where he was able to pick out Wagon. Now Fafa Pico, middle channel, 30 yards away, cuts to the inside, gives it up Rodriguez, right flank. Pushes the ball right foot to the left of the box. Allen gives it right back outside left channel for Rodriguez. Now Busquets in the middle, lifts the ball left box. It couldn't find Allen. Rodriguez is on it. He had it deflected away. A clearance attempt by DC United goes about 30 yards away. Karam's off of Busquets, and Fafa Pico back on it for Inter Miami. Busquets, inside left, sends a square ball. High in the air to Wagon. Now, a right wing entry feed to the right box. Suarez couldn't get a foot on it. I don't think Suarez has a true touch yet since he substituted on. And since he substituted on, Inter Miami has drawn level 1-1. Here's a long ball forward. Suarez going to get on the end of this on a one-hopped pass from the midfield. And he cannot, as it takes one hop to Barraza, who was camped out top of the area and made the catch on one bounce. But Inter Miami's going to win it. Defensive half again. Ryan Saylor does well to keep it away from a DC United player. It was intercepted, but Ben Kremoski has it right back for Inter Miami, and he'll simply distribute it back to Rocco Rios Nova. Inter Miami's goalkeeper, who has simply just had to chill out in this second half. 69 minutes in, 1-1, Inter Miami and DC United. And a foul against DC United as Kremoski trying to bowl his way forward, far touchline, nearing the midfield stripe. Busquets, defensive midfield, sent it deeper into the defensive portion for Aviles. This is to the right of the center circle. Busquets couldn't get a ball played through to Kremoski in the left attacking third. DC United clears, but it's won right back by Inter Miami. Good chest by DePaul, rolls it to the inside. Suarez plays through Pico, penalty yard. Pico goes down to ground right box. He's furious, saying he got tripped by Peltola. The referee says play on. DC United just blast the ball back into the Inter Miami defensive portion, and retrieving is Ryan Saylor. Pico is incensed on the other end. Inter Miami continues to come forward. Again, DC United has no ideas in the attack. They are simply playing for the draw now. Rodriguez, defensive half, now Aviles up the middle. Busquets trying to get it to Kremoski, picked off by DC United. Here they come on the counter. Left flank, upper left. Here's Stroud, he tried to cross. It went off of Ryan Saylor of Inter Miami. It bounds outside the area, far side. DC United has to retreat back to the attacking midfield and now attacking half. And a bit of a weak ball, Suarez chasing, but Bartlett gives it back to the keeper, who's in his upper right. And Barraza is going to send a long ball into the defensive half. It is hit by Busquets, misplayed by DC United, and Busquets back on it. Now Rodrigo to Paul. Right midfield circle. Great ball to the near touchline, left attacking third. Pico chests it down. Pico just to the upper left, wanted Suarez, and went through him. It was not a great ball from Pico, and Cervanio won it for DC United. Look out, ball played through, races on. This has come out of nothing. Here's DC United off the near post. Right foot shot from the right box. Oh, Morel blasted it off the post. Saylor had to track back, so did Allen. That was terrifying. Now here's Rodrigo to Paul, Inter Miami. Left attacking third. Sends it outside the upper right. Kremoski plays it right box. To Paul, a shot. That was blocked neatly away by DC United. Cleared away far touchline. Inter Miami left attacking third, throw in. So Inter Miami almost had a great opportunity. Oh, that was really scary. Now there would have been a look for offside on this as well. At the last moment, Noah Allen did well to change the angle of the shooter, Morel. Suarez and Rodriguez do not communicate. Inter Miami gives it away, but then Peltola for DC United, trying to get DC United on the run, didn't communicate and sent a ball behind his intended target near side. Goes out of play near side, and Inter Miami will throw it in the left attacking half. So we're going to have more substitutions. Rita Zoo here is going to take off Brandon Cervania. Zoo here, a dual Canadian and Moroccan national. And Joao Peglau, the Brazilian, says good night to Jackson Hopkins, DC United's goal scorer. 1-1 Inter Miami and DC United. There's still plenty of time. There's 73 minutes left. Baltasar Rodriguez is the goal scorer for Inter Miami, the first goal of his Inter Miami career. And it was a masterpiece. Noah Allen, left near touchline, and he will distribute it back into the right defensive half. Here Miami trying to take its time, develop some shape in the attack. 73-50, 73-51, 73-52 on the clock to Paul. Sends it middle channel, Kremoski. Good swipe, left foot, Busquets. To the outside right channel, Wagon. Wagon cuts into the inside. Wagon 30 yards out. Wagon sends it right to the box. Oh, some nifty footwork here from Inter Miami. Luis Suarez now to Paul. Right channel. Lobs a ball. Right area. Wagon sends it to the far post. Pico's header! And it goes off of DC United's Atlee and across the left-hand line. Or is the referee going to say no touch? Yeah, it's going to be a corner for Inter Miami. Near side to far side. DC United was calling for a handball against Marcelo Wagon. Probably should have gotten it, but we'll take it. Inter Miami near side to far side corner. Here's Baltasar Rodriguez, left foot from left to the penalty arc. Didn't get a lot on it. DC United clears it as far as the near touchline. DePaul thought it was going out of play, but it stayed in play. Now he feeds the far post. Kremoski headed it down to the mouth of the goal. Suarez couldn't score. It's still loose, 6-yard box, and DC United blasts it back into the midfield. Oh, Inter Miami knocking on the door again. Suarez, if he gets a better touch off the Kremoski delivery in close, makes it 2-1 Inter Miami. DePaul slices a ball from the midfield circle, and that was way mis-hit. Kremoski trying to make a run along the far touchline, and that was never going to get there. Man, Kremoski, what a great feed. And Suarez, who was being held by Rolls, couldn't get a good right foot on it. Right in front of the DC United goal, and DC United's going to have a goal kick as we are 75.5 minutes expired. All Inter Miami corners, by the way, brought to you by Lauder Ryder Smith Ivy and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Off the goal kick, DC United has it for a rare time in their attacking half. Oh, a great ball from the far touchline. Here's Morel, left wing, sends it left to the box. DC United, upper left, right foot, wide, well wide of Inter Miami's goal. Far post, Rios Novo was tracking it anyways. DC United is calling for a handball against Inter Miami. I, during run of play, didn't see where that would have even taken place. But DC United is emphatic that it did happen. No, it went off of Ryan Saylor's head. That's what he's saying, that it was a touch. And it is a corner for DC United, near side to far side. If they thought there was a handball, though, it went off of Saylor's head. This corner will be delivered by Herrera, outswinger near side to far side for DC United, 76th minute. Right foot, sent to the 6-yard box, just flopping for DC United. But DC United has it left to the box. Rolls just went to ground, and then he demanded a penalty. And DC United, what a ball from the midfield to the right end line, across, and it went across the end line before it could be blasted by Herrera, who thought he had won a corner. Inter Miami, quick restart. 77th minute. Inter Miami 1, DC United 1. Inter Miami trying to play it out of the back. Good hustle, Sergio Busquets, but then a bad touch by Kremoski gave it right back to DC United. And now DC United starting to find the attack again. Uh-oh, look out. Morel, left box. Saylor fell down. Morel scores. Sends it by Rocco Rios Novo from the middle of the area. Inter Miami got sloppy with the ball. It's 2-1, and the flag is up, offside DC United. Inter Miami just got a gift from the footballing gods. DC United deserved a goal, and they're going to get it wiped off the board. And it remains 1-1 as we get into the 78th minute. Morel thought he had his second goal of the season, and Morel is definitely offsides. He's clearly offsides as that pass is delivered, a win off of Wagon. But Morel was a full body length beyond Wagon. We're surely going to have some extra time in this second half. We only had one additional minute in the first half. It was brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealers. Test drive the Q5 today at your local South Florida Audi dealer, or go to AudiUSA.com. Ryan Saylor will come off the pitch for Inter Miami, and Ian Frey is on. Ian Frey comes on for Inter Miami. He is the 5th and final substitution. And now Inter Miami charges forward, left attacking half, and a throw-in far side for the Herons. Weygott distributes immediately, on to DePaul, back to Weygott. Inter Miami still ways away from the DC United goal, 35 yards out. Now Kremoski. Kremoski, right of the box is extended far side. And Inter Miami commits a foul as Ian Frey had it taken off his feet, make that Weygott, and he simply reached his arm out and tackled a DC United player. Dominic Badgie has entered for DC United. Connor Antley's night is over. Badgie, an 11-season MLS veteran. 1-1. DC United just had a goal wiped off the board on an offside. Long ball, defensive portion for DC United, deep into the attacking third for DC United. And then a header goes across the far end line from the host side, and Inter Miami's going to try and play it out of the back. Noah Allen from his left back position into his own penalty arc. Ian Frey. We have 10 minutes, and however many additional are tacked on to the end to decide a winner. 1-1 Inter Miami and DC United. These two teams played to 1-0 last season in South Florida. Leo Campana, 90+4, was the hero. Tomas Aviles, good defensive play. Physical in the midfield to win it for Inter Miami. Now Suarez has a middle channel. Got around a defender, tried to play through to Pico, and there was way too much on it. Oh, Suarez is not happy with himself. Too lead-footed on that play-through attempt to Pico, and now Barraza, the goalkeeper, is going to send a ball 50 feet into the air to the attacking half for DC United. And it's won by Peglo as he one-touched it beyond Weygott. The ball eventually crosses the far touchline, and Inter Miami concedes a throw-in. Inter Miami's gotten a little bit, they look a little tired defensively here over the last 5 minutes or so. Here's a giveaway, DC United in the midfield. Pico plays it up ahead, left attacking third. Left flank Suarez into the left box. Suarez surveys. Suarez chipped at far post, nobody there, but Kremoski then slices a ball, impossible angle, 20 feet over the goal and out of play. That was not a good pass, though, from Suarez. And now Inter Miami back to asking some questions in this 1-1 match. Can Inter Miami find a late winner and avoid giving up points in the table to the last place side in the Eastern Conference and the second worst side in all of Major League Soccer? Heavy rotation tonight for Inter Miami in the starting 11. Late substitutions, Luis Suarez, Rodrigo DePaul. Messi and Alba didn't make the trip. The reason being the hope that they're available for Inter Miami against Orlando City Leagues Cup semis on Wednesday. And now Barraza, the keeper for DC United, is down in the 82nd minute. And he's clutching at his left knee. This seems a bit suspicious, if I may say so myself. Barraza came through the Real Salt Lake Academy. And now here comes the physio. The manager, Renee Weiler, laughing on the DC United touchline. So Barraza is going to get treatment here. Barraza sent the goal kick away. And then all of a sudden, 5 seconds after, he realized he had pain in his left knee. So I don't want to outright say that he's not experiencing pain. He's receiving treatment from the physio, but It is just wild that as many free goal kicks as he's delivered tonight, now he has left knee pain. We're already heading towards the 84th minute. Ken Levicka with you, Audi Field in Washington, D.C. The OG, Oscar Gonzalez, onside engineer, Mike Rizzo. Pregame, halftime, postgame. Barraza appears to be cured of whatever left knee ailment he had. Took a good 2.5 minutes off the clock. Jun Hong Kim, the backup goalkeeper, gives a thumbs up. I'm good, I'm not gonna come into the match. He never even went to warm up. So we restart play. Inter Miami has the ball, 84.5 minutes on the clock here at Audi Field. DC United leads the all-time series, 4 victories to 3, 2 draws in this as well. DC United came into this match 1 point in their last 4 home matches. Dead last in Major League Soccer, only 3 goals for, 12 against. DC United's going to win a ball in their defensive third, and now the race is on along the touchline. It goes out of play. It's going to belong to Inter Miami as Noah Allen was going at it with Jacob Morel. They both had handfuls of jersey, and Inter Miami won the throw-in. They're back into the right defensive half. Inter Miami right to left in the attack. Rodrigo de Paul is tripped up and fouled by Dominic Badji. And are we going to have a card here against Badji? De Paul was hooked, and the referee decides to keep the card in the pocket. Left attacking half, Inter Miami off the restart. De Paul delivered it to Aviles in the midfield circle. Now Fafa Pico along the near touchline. Noah Allen sends it to the defensive half, Ian Frey. Frey, a second half substitution. Has it right in the middle, the center of the defensive half. As we approach the 86th minute. Good job by Marcelo Weigott to maneuver around a DC United defender. That was Schnegg, and a foul is called against Schnegg. And Inter Miami restarts with a square ball, far side to left of the midfield circle. Frey touches on left wing Allen. Allen to Pico near touchline, left attacking third. Fafa Pico, the Haitian international, gives it up. Allen, who's going to pop it right back to the inside. Pico, he'll deliver middle channel right on the midfield stripe for Ian Frey, who sent it to nobody in particular. But Inter Miami, Weigott's called for an offside on the outside right channel, about 25 yards from goal. Inter Miami has exhausted its substitutions, 86-45, 86-46. Can they get it in a position for a late winner? There should be at least 3 to 4 minutes of extra time, I would anticipate, from our referee, Ricardo Montero. 3 cards tonight. 2 for DC United, 1 for Inter Miami. Long ball defensive half. Sergio Busquets heads it for Inter Miami, but it's kept in the DC United attacking half by Peltola. And then a crushing hit on Pico, who's down on the ground and not moving. Inter Miami, meanwhile, wins the ball. Here is Luis Suarez. Sends a ball to the inside channel. Rodriguez pops it to the outside left channel. Inter Miami left attacking third. I don't see Pico in the play. There he is, coming from behind. Pico has it 40 yards from goal, and Inter Miami distributes to the far right side, and Weigott's just going to push it back into the attacking midfield. Aviles, now Busquets in the middle. Busquets surveying, good ball. Left of the box, Allen. Left-footed cross, headed away by DC United. This is going to hop onto Weigott. He'll swipe it backwards to Aviles, and a one-touch back to Weigott. One touch back to Aviles, and now midfield circle to Paul with his pink cleats. Rolls it to the near touchline. Allen, Inter Miami in the left attacking half. Ian Frey to the attacking portion, midfield Aviles. Inter Miami taking its time. Noah Allen left of the box again. Noah Allen charges to the inside, outside the upper left. Rolls it back, Busquets 35 yards away. Delivers on an overlap. Left of the box, Pico. Pico, right-footed cross, and it's going to sail right to Barraza, the goalkeeper for DC United, who barrel rolls to the ground. And now wincing in pain again in a shocking turn of events. Past 88.5 minutes gone. Barraza, how brave of him to fight through the discomfort. But then Barraza just simply punts the ball for Inter Miami to chase in their right defensive third. Right in the epicenter of the defensive half, Inter Miami right portion of the pitch, Busquets. Far touchline pass, and then he'll receive a return pass after it was played off two Inter Miami players, and now Inter Miami comes forward. Left attacking half, a ball up the far touchline. Wagon rolls it right box. Kromaski to the middle, not quite on time with Suarez. DC United has to clear across the far touchline as we near 90 minutes. 1-1 DC United and Inter Miami are level. Rodriguez middle channel. He's the goal scorer for Inter Miami. Left wing, Frey. Left of the box, Allen. Allen chunks the ball, Rodriguez left wing. It plays through Busquets. He's going to swipe it right to the box. Wagon wanted a low cross. Once again denied by DC United. It falls to Rodrigo de Paul, the Argentine. Close range passing with Kromaski. Now de Paul turns the corner to the inside. 30 yards out, Busquets. Rolls it on to Frey. Now left of the box again, Noah Allen. Allen has to play it back 25 yards out. Busquets inside left channel. Now Ian Frey overlapping. Left of the box, sends it left to the penalty arc. Suarez wanted to play it through to Rodriguez. That was not a good pass. And Inter Miami is always going to win it back. DC United trying to get on the counter. Inter Miami should have an advantage. Left wing de Paul. De Paul rolls it. Noah Allen who delivered a cross, and it goes off of Herrera. Left end line, corner, Inter Miami. Presented by Leiter Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. We are 1 minute into 6 additional minutes. DePaul in swinging corner from the near side to the far side. And Barraza makes an over-the-head leaping catch. It certainly looked like DePaul was maybe going for an Olympico. Extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealers. Test drive the Q5 today at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com. DC United taking some time in its defensive third, and now Barraza, the goalkeeper, blasts it into Inter Miami's defensive third. It goes off of Badgie of DC United. Far touchline. Inter Miami's going to have a deep defensive portion throw-in. I don't know what the crowd is upset about. It clearly went off of the top of Badgie's head. Inter Miami tried to win it in the midfield. Kromaski was played off the ball, but DC United gives it away. Suarez swipes the ball forward, races on. Left attacking half, now to the attacking third. Outside the upper left, into the box to Paul. DePaul, right foot, where is he going with that ball? Sent it to the far post, but Kromaski was flat-footed. He was never going to get there. And 2 minutes into the additional 6, Inter Miami looked like they had something on the counter, but it materialized into nothing. And now Inter Miami's going to have to retrieve a ball in its defensive half. Busquets hustles to get there, and Inter Miami back on the attacking side of the midfield circle. Ian Frey, good speed, got around a defender, and then a whistle and a foul. About 25 yards out against Herrera of DC United. Inter Miami is going to have DePaul whip in a ball about 6 yards off the touchline, just shy of 30 yards out. Set piece Inter Miami, 92.5 minutes. 1-1 Inter Miami and DC United. DePaul whips this ball into the middle, and it went off the far post. Nobody touched it. The free kick went off of the far post. It hit the woodwork. And then a foul is called in the area. Busquets was offside, and I believe did it go off of Ian Frey? We're looking at the replay. No, it didn't go off of anybody. It almost just beat the keeper, going through all sorts of traffic. We are halfway through the additional 6 minutes. 1-1, Inter Miami, DC United. Inter Miami once again on the ball. Good job, Suarez, to win the ball in the midfield to Rodrigo de Paul. De Paul, and a whistle stops play. And Morel of DC United suddenly is down and in pain. Grabbing at his face, Suarez out of frustration, kicked the ball the referee's way. That is absolute nonsense. Renee Weiler and Javier Mascherano are joined with one another. Suarez won the ball. Inter Miami's on the run, and the referee said I have to stop it because it's a head injury. And there was, Ian Frey came up with the toe of his boot. It nicked the left side of the face of Morel, and Morel went down like he got punched in the jaw. 1-1 Inter Miami and DC United. 94-22, 94-23, 94-24. So we are only at 90 seconds left to go in this match. Inter Miami is on the verge of giving up 2 points in the table to DC United, who sit in the last place in the East. This one's going to feel like a missed opportunity, just like the loss to FC Dallas was at home. I mean, there should be an additional at least 3 minutes tacked onto the 6 additional here. I mean, this is wild. Inter Miami restarts play, left attacking half. Far touchline, Weigott on the end of a ball from Busquets. Weigott cuts it back to the inside. He's about 25 yards away. Now sends it right to the area, Suarez. Suarez nutmegged a defender, but then lost his footing. And DC United's going to clear as far as about 40 yards. Still in the attacking portion for Inter Miami, right to left in the attack. Busquets, Rodriguez, 30 seconds left, but you have to imagine there's going to be more time added on. DePaul heads to the inside, now middle channel, Rodriguez. Inter Miami just can't find much room here. 40 yards away, Busquets sends a one-hopper to Weigott right of the box. Weigott sends a high ball into the middle. Headed away by DC United on to Ian Frey. Frey had it poked away near touchline. Allen retrieves for Inter Miami. Now DePaul left wing. He'll float in a ball to the right box. Weigott headed in. He's calling for a handball. He goes down in the area. And then Sergio Busquets is called for a foul. And Busquets is really unhappy with the referee. Really unhappy with Ricardo Montero. DePaul floated a ball. Weigott. This is a handball. That should be a handball. It went off of Schnegg, who had an extended arm right box. Is this going to be a look from VAR? It absolutely should be. 6 minutes in. The referee blows the whistle. And this should be, and they're going to go to VAR. No, a yellow is shown to Suarez. How is VAR not looking at that? How is VAR not looking at that? Suarez has been booked for dissension, and I get it. That ball is off a hand. That went off of Schnegg's hand, right side of the box. How is this not being looked at? Somebody's got to step in here and do the right thing. 1-1 Inter Miami and DC United. That ball from Weigott clearly went off of the right hand of David Schnegg, the left back for DC United. Oh my goodness. What a catastrophe. And Barraza, the goalkeeper, sends the ball away. A foul against DC United in the Inter Miami defensive third. I mean, where is VAR? Like, where are they? And then Barraza blows the final whistle. Does not give Inter Miami a chance to go down the pitch. Baltasar Rodriguez is yelling at Ricardo Montero. How do you not call that handball? Forget VAR getting involved. That should have been Ricardo Montero pointing to the spot immediately. That is absolutely horrific. What a nightmare ending for the referee, Ricardo Montero. That should have been a point to the spot, and Luis Suarez with a penalty. Javier Mascherano is furious. He marches off. Inter Miami players linger on the field. Ricardo Montero has already sprinted his way to the tunnel. Inter Miami noted that they did not play well, but they dominated the second half, and then they are wronged late on. So Inter Miami takes only a point from the last place team in the Eastern Conference. should have had a penalty in the dying moments awarded on a clear handball off the right arm of Jacob Morrell. The player of the match, the man of the match for Inter Miami, Baltazar Rodriguez. He's the goal scorer for Inter Miami. That saves a point in the table. But Inter Miami undone by a very poor first half. Jackson Hopkins with a goal in the 12th minute. And DC United takes a point from Inter Miami. DC United, they wasted all the time, and then they get an absolute gift where the referee doesn't see, VAR somehow doesn't see a handball in the box at the death. Inter Miami won, DC United won. For Oscar Gonzalez, the OG onsite engineer, I'm Ken Levicka. Mike Rizzo has your post game. Good night from Audi Field in Washington, D.C. This has been Inter Miami Football.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
1-1 draw in the nation's capital for our Inter Miami Herons. And I'll tell you what, folks, controversy at the end of the game. I'm back here at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Was able to see the non-handball that the referee made on the field. First off, I hate the blame officials thing, but I don't know what else to do, folks. That was a disgrace. That was a handball. And I just don't understand how a team like Inter Miami isn't getting the benefit of the doubt from VAR. They're their most popular team. People watch the league for Inter Miami specifically. And you're not going to get the call there. I just, so many questions, no answers, no idea why the call wasn't made to the field, no idea why the referee didn't give the benefit of the doubt when 3 players come up screaming handball. Now, I understand it's a thing that happens pretty commonly in world football. But when veterans like Sergio Busquets and Luis Suarez are absolutely losing their minds like that, maybe you put a call upstairs like, hey, do we need to take a look at this? Or is none of that? And then the second problem I have is the time wasting. The Barraza falling to the floor. Murrell not even getting hit in the face and taking advantage of the and listen, it's the right rule. If you get hit in the head, man, that's not something you want to mess with. But he didn't get hit. Like, we have instant replay. This is 2025. We're able to see these things, and I feel like the Murrell ordeal didn't get the proper time to the +6. The Barraza thing happened before extra time. I thought +6 was the right number. I did. I thought 6 minutes was the right number. The issue is when you have someone do a 2-minute ordeal during the 6 minutes and not take it into consideration, that's a joke. And then I'll say it again. I can't believe a team like Inter Miami isn't getting the benefit of the doubt. But regardless, 1-1 the final score. Our Herons getting 1 point on the road versus DC United. Let's get your match stats. Inter Miami, I mean, listen, no surprise. Inter Miami 71% on the ball. DC United had absolutely nothing going forward in the second half. Now, they did play counter ball. They had a goal that was offsides. It was a clear offsides, too. It wasn't one of those controversial ones. It was a clear offside on the goal that they were able to have. But really, other than that, wasn't much there for DC United. They were completely content with digging in and getting 1 point, hence Inter Miami's 71% on the ball. The Herons, after having 3 total shots in the first half, 0 on target, they end up with 14. So that's 11 shots in the second half, 3 shots on target, and a big turnaround. Now, I understand a lot of substitutions came in. Javier Mascherano really used all of his substitutions, every single sub. Rodrigo de Paul, Baltasar Rodriguez, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez, and Ian Frey all coming onto the pitch. I've said at halftime, I didn't see any of the big 5 now. If you add Rodrigo de Paul into that conversation coming onto the pitch, I was completely wrong. And they came out of the pitch. It was instant offense, instant kind of change of pace in the game, but it ultimately wasn't enough. And I still stand by what I said. Inter Miami got one stolen under their noses with that not being a handball. But the final score, 1-1. When we return, we'll go through all the highlights. We'll check around the MLS. We'll go through the MLS table and see the damage done of our Herons only getting 1 point at the nation's capital against the Eastern Conference bottom dweller. We're coming right back on your Inter Miami postgame show.
Terrain, the all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Inter Miami picking up the draw in the nation's capital, picking up 1 point. It's time to take a look at that MLS table. We'll do highlights last. We'll leave on a good note with the Baltasar Rodriguez absolute wonder goal. But let's take a look at the table. Because if Inter Miami would have got the full 3, that would have meant 48. And the good news is that team up north that plays in Central Florida, They got boat raced 4-0 tonight. Rather, it's halftime. I guess I'm speaking too soon. Unless we see the best comeback in the MLS this season, it looks like if Inter Miami would have picked up the full 3, they would have surpassed Orlando, and they would have had home field in the Eastern Conference. So, God, what a the reason I'm so banged up about it, I could handle Inter Miami not being the better team and not having their best foot forward, which for the most part they didn't tonight, outside of when the super subs came on in 60 minutes and on. I'm just still on that handball, folks. I do not understand how we don't get the benefit of the doubt from the referee and VAR. But let's focus on around the MLS, presented by our great friends at Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron, featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi technology. Folks, it's not just an electric vehicle, it's a new way to experience driving. The fully electric Q6 e-tron, the next chapter of Audi, is here. Test drive the 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron at your local South Florida Audi dealer today, or visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. So Inter Miami sitting on the table with 46 points. They are in 5th place as of now. Let's go around the MLS and check the other matches. We got a couple at full time. CF Montreal winning 3-2 against Austin. It's a bit of an upset there. The Columbus Crew, how about that? The Crew, the team that is directly behind our Inter Miami Herons in 6th place. They lose 2-1 to New England. New England doing Inter Miami a solid. That was in Columbus too, folks. The Crew dropping points. DC United and our Herons obviously 1-1. And another upset. This was one of those games I circled for all of us in the pregame show. NYCFC beating FC Cincinnati. So Cincinnati was at the top. They are now passed up by Philadelphia, who won 4-0. So Philadelphia in first place now on that Eastern Conference table after they beat the Chicago Fire 4-0. A couple of fixtures at halftime. We already mentioned that Nashville SC is completely dismantling that team that plays in Central Florida. Let's hope that that is a foreshadowing of what is going to happen this coming Wednesday in Chase Stadium when Orlando City comes on over for the semifinal in Leagues Cup. The Dynamo are down 1-0 against San Jose. FC Dallas and LAFC are tied 1-1. And then a couple of games that just kicked off. The Vancouver Whitecaps at St. Louis City. That's in the 1st minute. And then in the 6th minute, Real Salt Lake and Minnesota United. And don't forget about your nightcaps tonight. LA Galaxy and the Colorado Rapids, San Diego FC and the Portland Timbers. Those are your 10:30 starts. And then tomorrow, Atlanta United and Toronto FC. I think the biggest matchup on Sunday, Charlotte FC and the New York Red Bulls, and then the Sounders and Sporting Kansas City. So that kind of covers around the MLS. Philadelphia jumping FC Cincinnati as the top team in the Eastern Conference. Nashville, as of right now, up 4-0 at half on Orlando. They will hold pat. Orlando City looking like they might not get any points, being down 4-0. And our Herons not taking advantage of Nashville possibly boat racing Orlando in that game, getting 1 point. But I am a bitter Inter Miami fan, and I am going to blame the referee. Let's go to our highlights. We'll end on a high note. Let's hear the voice of the Inter Miami Herons with a couple of highlights for our Herons. Now, the only highlight in the first half was Rocco Rios Novo going Nova with this save.
DC United has something cooking. Pirani, middle channel, sends it to the left, Kojima. Kojima, left box. Oh, Rios Novo diving to his left, able to swat a save just outside the far post. Rios Novo saved the day. It was nearly 2-0 DC United. Kojima denied by Rios Novo.
So Rocco Rios Novo saving things from becoming 2-0 early on in the first half. The man of the match for Inter Miami tonight was Baltasar Rodriguez. He checked in, and similar to his Leagues Cup debut, he immediately went off of a post, off of a corner. Let's take a listen to Baltasar Rodriguez.
Rodriguez outside the penalty yard. Oh, he put it off the post. I think he put it off the left post. On a shot, it grazed the outside of the left post. Rodriguez, who nearly had a banger goal Wednesday in the Leagues Cup,
He lined it up. He gave it a ride, but just not on target.
So Baltasar not able to find the back of the net there, but Baltasar able to score a goal on arguably his best goal of his career. Now, maybe he had a better goal at Racing that I didn't see, but listen, I'd be hell-pressed to think that he had a better goal than this one. This was an absolute wonder goal that's probably flooding your timeline right now. Nope. Fat fingering. Hang on.
It avoided a head, but it falls to Rodriguez. Right, but I want to go. It's Golasso left of the penalty arc. It took one hop, and he swiped it with a right foot, and he sniped it into the upper right. Baltasar Rodriguez. What a hit. Prodigious, prolific. We're level at 1 in the 63rd minute.
And that is the final highlight of the postgame show. Baltasar Rodriguez going huge and getting a goal and making things 1-1. Well, Inter Miami only picking up 1 point, and that is the final score from DC tonight. 1-1 as the Herons pick up 1 point. We will talk to all of you for a Little Leagues Cup action coming up this Wednesday. I need everybody wearing pink coming up on Wednesday as our Inter Miami Herons are going to be taking on bitter rival again, Orlando City, for the third time this year. Orlando City has beaten the Herons 7-1 on the goal aggregate in their 2 MLS matchups. And if you want to count preseason as well, they won in preseason too. But it's going to be a 8:30 kickoff, which means I will be live with the postgame coming up pregame coming up at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Appreciate the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Ken Levica, doing an amazing job as always. We appreciate our OG, Oscar Gonzalez, on-site producer. I am Mike Rizzo. We will talk to you coming up on Wednesday. Everyone enjoy the Saturday night. We'll catch up with you next week. Bye.